Filling the noise.
What'd you say about the Doors?
I said filling the noise.
Oh, I thought you said something about the Doors. We were just talking about
Filling the doors.
70s and 90s bands. Welcome to the Rizzuto Show. I am at the lead mic here because Riz and Lern have taken the day off, which, you know what? I think the big difference here, because 4 out of the 5 of us, did you go to Chili Peppers last night?
I did not.
Okay, so 4 of the 5 of us went to Chili Peppers last night, and the 2 sober fellers
Made it to work today.
we're here.
Wow.
We're here. I think there's something to be said about that.
Score one
Score
for
one
liquid
for
death.
And by the way, I didn't know Rafe was going last night.
I didn't know he was going last night either until he told me that he was. Oh no! Did you text that you had tickets or something? Because we were all kind of in the same row. We had double letter seats way in the back that ended up being just perfect.
I was on the fence because of the heat and just having a ton of stuff to do, but opted in because I had never seen the Chili Peppers live before, and I'm like, not quite Rolling Stones urgency, but they're getting up there.
Oh, you think so? This is a band. This is our Rolling Stones that will play forever.
Yeah, maybe. You never know, dude.
I
never know.
would agree with you on the never know, but this is now the third
I think they will, but
or fourth time seeing them, and I swear there was more energy this time than the last time.
well, I also
He's dating a kid. I mean,
it was like their last show of the tour, which was cool. Also, I found that out too, and I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, when Flea said it.
I found it out yesterday that it was like their final show of a long tour. Like I was just looking up the show, and I was like, oh, they'll probably put on a good show. You know, get that last show energy.
It was great. What was your review?
It was great. I was really, really good. I thought it was cool. Anthony Kiedis was out there in a little boot, just dancing around, and he must have broken his foot or something, man. He had a boot on, but wasn't slowing him down. He was out there. I'm like, he's running around, getting hyped. Took his shirt off halfway through. Everything I wanted to see.
yeah.
Yeah, he did the cornholio thing as well.
He did. I did it too in the pit.
You did? You put the shirt over your head?
I was making my friend Zach very uncomfortable. When he did it, I did it. I turned my hat around backwards and cornholioed, and then started like actually trying, because the pit was very calm. That's you know your audience is aging a bit.
Yes.
When the pit starts to be a little more chill.
I feel like the pit was just a stronger version of the smell that was going around.
Yes. Somehow Lern got down in the pit, and she was like, hey, I got 2 extra pit passes. Do you want to go? And I had taken my friend Zach, who's a huge Chili Peppers fan, and he's like, hell yeah, I want to go down there. And I was like, all right, let's go. Can't be any hotter than it was in our seats.
The seats were super, super hot. It was swampy. It was where you're just kind of standing, Scott, and it was
Zero breeze.
Zero breeze, and you just start dripping sweat, and you feel like, whoa, I just got out of the shower. It was just the stickiest evening I can remember in the last couple of years. But you were saying that the pit wasn't as bad.
I bet it was like 10 degrees cooler down there.
Weird.
Yeah, it was not bad, man. And honestly, you know, and I said this to my friend while we were in the pit, and I was like, Chili Peppers rock, dude. As much as they take it on the chin for him not being able to sing, or all their songs kind of sounding the same or whatever. They got a sound, but it's a good one. And they rip it.
It's great.
I love it.
I was asking.
I don't know why they get so much grief, because I'm like,
they're huge.
I'm into it. Yeah, it's popular. Do you think it's that?
And I think we've heard them a lot. You know, it's one of those bands you've heard a whole bunch your whole existence.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of my arguments for them is I'm like, I feel like any band that survives the decade they were supposed to flame out in always gets beat up on. You know, Metallica kind of got it when they changed their style up after the Black Album.
Yep.
Any band that evolves and survives the evolution and doesn't become just a greatest hits machine, I feel like goes through a period of like disdain, and then they come back to being cool again.
Yeah. So put an album out that no one has heard about and they don't like it, then
right.
Somehow they hit it.
Well, you're saying like not only survived, they've reinvented themselves a couple times.
That's what I mean.
I mean,
like,
when One Hot Minute came out, it was one of those like, oh, here we go. It's a Navarro thing and the Love Roller Coaster, and we're doing Ohio Players covers, and you know what I mean. It was okay. This is cool, but this is what the band is now. And then it went back, and then they did another record, and it was different. And then Frachante came back, and it was I don't know, man. That is an evolving band, and that's an 80s band. You know, everybody thinks of it as a 90s band. I think they started in like 83 or something.
Well, that's what I was saying, like, besides Metallica, name another band that, like, started late 80s. I'll say late 80s rose to, like, fame. Survived the entire 90s and 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and now are in the 2020s. And are still relevant, you know, making relevant music. There's not many. And
have the drug stuff involved. You know, they have the drug history.
Geez. Oh, yeah.
And survived that.
Yeah.
And came out sober and thriving, which is, I mean, as rare as it gets, much less add that to a band staying together and doing this kind of stuff.
Did they ever have any members OD or anything and pass away?
Yeah, Hillel.
Oh, that's right.
Right? I don't remember the exact details, but their first guitar player.
Yes, that's
from the 80s. But I mean, he wasn't the only one. I think there was some other stuff going on and going.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm just I couldn't remember that because every band has their. Yeah, they had. From that era, it always has one guy that had to.
They had the difficulties. They had the drama, but they survived it. And you know what I noticed last night, and I feel like I'm pretty in tune to this, even though, you know, of course, I'm a spectator in this particular instance. They do seem like they like each other. Like it's still a band where like the collective band matters to them.
So they're having fun.
Yeah, they're having fun, but like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they care for one another, at least as a whole. And I think that is probably the key to their longevity. But man, we weren't sure if we were going either. And Rafe and I were kind of like up in the air. Like we were trying to get tickets and we were trying to figure it out. And for me, it was based on the kids' schedule. And when my wife was like, no, you know, we can go. Do you want? She was like, she gave me the. Do you want me to go? And I was like, yeah, let's have a date night. We haven't had a date night in forever, you know. And she went out, and as we were walking up, I was like, do you know any Chili Peppers songs? She's like, I think, you know, by like osmosis and working radio and whatever, I've probably been exposed to enough where I feel like I know them. Every other song that came on, she was singing. She's like, I know all of these, and that made me think too, because while I'm watching these great musicians, I thought this is a band's band. This is a typical band that impresses other bands. Yeah. You know, people go and stare at Flea, or people go and watch John or Chad, and this is the rare.
It's hard
instance.
not to see Will Ferrell.
Yeah, I was.
It's so hard.
I was far enough away to still see Chad Smith and not Will Ferrell.
It's real hard not to at this point.
Best.
Because I kept waiting for him to just like stand up and be like, "We're going streaking," and I would not have been shocked at all.
But that was one of those, like, some of my favorite bands are bands, and that's not usually a good thing. Like Dredge and Mew and all these bands that, like, bands will stand on the side of the stage and watch, but they putter out because they can't really, like, serve a mass audience. Yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers is the most perfect band as far as a band that has figured out how to keep simple and clever and make everything huge.
And, yes... Somebody in the chat said Green Day, another good example of a band that kind of evolved and made it through their proverbial decade. You know what I mean? Like usually, I say the shelf life of a lot of bands' superstardom is like a decade. It's specific decades. And it's cool to see them out there still rocking it. And I was telling my buddy Zach, I go, this is good white people dance music. Because everything's on the ones and twos, dude. If you really listen to Chili Pepper songs like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and then it's like you don't have to like keep it's got a nice strong 1 2 1 2 back and forth, one left foot right foot, because even in the pit everybody was kind of like left right step 2 hops this time, and I'm like the Chili Peppers are kind of like they know their audience. It's like a lot of high people in California, not complicated to dance to. And I was like, man, every song kind of has that 1-2 beat.
That's what I meant by like simple, clever. It's all really simple.
I agree with you.
And the bass lines are sick, but they're not insane. They're just clever and great. And he's just a perfect executor of
pick a song, everything. Dude. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 2. Yeah, it's like all right, I can do that one.
I know they have their haters out there, man. But
maybe that's why people can get annoyed with it, because it is like the most. But I mean, everyone loves simple music. So
I think that's why they get the criticism. They get the criticism. He can't sing, but I'm like, that's not true.
He doesn't have a great range, but he can sing fine.
Yeah,
he just does what he does.
Yeah, it's like simple funk and simple rock and simple this, and I think that's why people that are like, the Guitar Center shredders that go in and show their skill are like, Red Hot Chili Peppers, bro. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But, dude...
the guitarist can shred, though.
He's a shredder and a cool singer, and he's got a vibe. They're just a vibe band. And that's what I would say. I know there's haters, and we're never going to change the mind of haters, and I'm sure they're already sick of what we're talking about right now. But I would suggest that if you're just Red Hot Chili Peppers, like I was, like a shrug, like I've probably bought 3 of their records maybe, and there's probably, 12 of them?
Yeah.
I'm like, I like them, but I never listen to them leisurely. Catch them live. It's a good time.
Changes it, huh?
It's a good time.
I'm that way where I was thinking about the show, and my wife asked me if I was going to go, and I'm like, I think we all are. I thought we were all going to go. And then once I heard that wasn't, then I was like, okay, I'm not going. But I was getting myself kind of psyched up because you're starting to remember, like, okay, I did love this one back in the day. And Red Hot Minute? That album, like that album was so rad, and I know they don't play anything from it, but I was I'm like, okay, that's a good one. I need to revisit that. So then you get yourself all hyped up. You're like, oh, I do like them. Yeah, I forgot I like them,
dude. I was so just kind of neutral about Chili Peppers all the time. I've seen them, like I said, two or three times, and this time on the way out. Here's the testament. Here's the real review. I had to get up at 2-something today. To run the show. We all had to get up early. So clearly I was going to be there for only a certain amount of songs and then left. We stayed for probably 6 songs longer.
Whoa.
So that's a star. You know what I mean? I'm sure Rafe probably stayed longer than he planned.
I did. Lern had told me she got a set list that they were going to play Soul to Squeeze like 3/4 of the way through, and I go, that's my encore.
Right, yeah.
When they hit Soul to Squeeze, I'm squeezing my fat ass out the Hollywood amphitheater parking lot because I don't want to be there till 2 in the morning. And I kept waiting, and I'm like, I knew it was I was like, man, they've been playing a while. They got the Californication, and I go, uh-oh. They got to be getting ready to get off. And, I mean, sure, there's an encore, but there's going to be a stampede. And I kept telling my buddy, like, all right, I'm going to finish this one, and if it's not Soul to Squeeze on the next one, I'm out. Then they'd start the next one, and I'd be like, all right, dude, I'm going to finish this one.
Exactly.
I'm going to start the next one. And then for real, I am out of here.
Yeah.
And pretty soon I was like, okay, I'm 13 songs in. I had to go.
Yeah, you got deeper than I did, but I got way deeper than we planned.
At 10 o'clock, I rolled.
Yeah, I was probably in bed at 11:20. So I don't know exactly when we left, but it was many songs later, and that's a part of the review for sure. And the other part of the review, and I don't know if you felt this, man, because I am not this guy typically, but for some reason, as we were walking out. But by the way, we sat in the seats like almost the last row in the seats, and the air was just dead. It felt like there was just rain coming out of my pores, and we're like, hey, let's try to catch a breeze. Let's go up in the lawn. So we went up in the lawn briefly, and it was awesome. It was breezy. People were just enjoying it. It was just
Their lawn band.
It was a perfect lawn band, dude. You could see that band from anywhere, and it was just a fun night of good live music. Wow. And I will say this: it's another one of those instances that at least this is what I hear. The sound guy was a band member, because it sounded really good, and it changed a lot. When the bass was like going, you heard Flea a lot more. When the guitar was going, you heard John a lot more. Like it was really fun to kind of watch the audio and the acoustics of it all as well. But when we left the lawn, dude, what am I thinking? I said, let's get some merch. Let's get some merch. I did.
No way.
And we all tell me. You know what Red Hot Chili Peppers merch looks like. It's all been the same.
Symbol, yeah.
It's the symbol and just whatever variation.
Yeah, an album cover.
And then they'll have a hoodie or something like that with some dates on it, right? Which, by the way, they had a hoodie with the dates on the pocket. I've never seen that. That was freaking cool looking. But, dude, I was like, yo, I'm going to get some merch. I would love some Chili Peppers merch, man. I'll wear it tomorrow. I'll wear it on stage. I want to wear some Chili Peppers merch. So that's another part of the review. But, dude, I was not standing in that line. Even the line in the middle of the set, or 3/4 through the set, the merch line was crazy.
When I walked out, it was long.
Crazy.
That's why I was like, you stood in that line? That's wild.
We stopped and kind of watched how quick it was inching forward, and it was not fast enough. So, and I thought, what am I thinking? I'll just order this online. which I'm sure you probably can't. They look like a lot of exclusive merch. But it was fun. And I'll tell you what else was fun and what made my wife the happiest is, dude, we got there late. We were told that they were going to go on at like 8:45 or so. So I think it was a sold-out show, right? Wouldn't you say so, Rafe? There's probably 21,000 people there. I mean, it was packed.
Because I did a lawn walkthrough. I wanted to see. I had the same inclination as you, where I'm like, I bet it's going to be hot in those seats. Maybe I can pop a squat. I had some friends up on the lawn, too. I went looking for them and met a lot of Riz folk out on the lawn. It was good seeing everybody, man. Everybody was super cool. Took a few pics and stuff. And then I got up to the top, and I was like, man, it's even kind of swampy up here. You know? And I was like, dang. Maybe I will just go sit in the seats. And but there was also just like there was nowhere to chill because it was so busy. Like the lawn was packed, and I was like, oh, there isn't really a place. I thought maybe I could go up, lean on the fence, get a breeze, and I'm like, the fence had chairs lined up against it.
Yeah.
So
we caught the breeze about, I don't know, I'd say 20 yards off of the sidewalk up on the lawn, which is perfect. Find a nice little spot
for a Tuesday night. Not bad.
Tuesday night that they postponed the doors because of thunderstorms and all that.
It still was 92 degrees.
It was packed, which means the parking lot was packed. And we didn't get any parking passes or any fanciness or any of that kind of stuff.
I snuck in.
Dude, you sneaked in where?
I felt bad.
How did you
I got behind the Casey van somehow, just by luck.
You bastard.
And I saw him pull in, and I just pulled in behind him. And I was like... They're like, you got a VIP pass? And I was just like, oh, I'm with the radio station. Just pointed to the van. And
brilliant.
They waved me in, dude. They didn't ask to see nothing. And I was like, cool. And I parked in the little, right there, dude, on the little black parking where all the...
Yeah.
And then when I got out quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, you could afford to sit.
I don't like...
Soul to squeeze.
You know?
Well, that's what we were thinking is, it's like 8:40 by the time we got there. We got there probably 5 minutes before they went on. It was perfect timing, but only because, and we went all the way down to gate 93 or whatever the heck it was, and went in there, and I didn't even realize how big that parking lot is. It goes out to some warehouse building, and we were right by the warehouse building, and the kid that was waving us in kind of shimmies himself like this, and then waves us over to the side. So we go to the side, which is all the way by the ditch, you know, like far from where you, the farthest corner you can think of. And then that kid kind of shimmies, and he points us down this way. So then now we're backtracking. Now we're going back towards the amphitheater. And we're still going. And we're still going. And then the next guy stops us and then waves us on. So we're still going. And we went right into the employee parking.
Dang.
Because the lot had become so full. The lot was so full. No one carpools to Red Hot Chili Peppers, apparently. The lot was so full that they ended up having to put the rest of us in employee parking right by the gate. Oh,
that's awesome.
It made my wife happy. It made our night. It was like, I've never seen my wife so happy going into a concert. She's like, oh, this is just great. We're going to leave a little early. And we'll be right home.
Yep.
So that was a big part
That's hilarious.
of the happiness of our evening. But I knew I would be tired today, man. I knew that...
it was the risk.
I just knew it was going to be one of those days. Typically by Wednesday or Thursday, I'm exhausted, and I know, and I know I talked to a lot of Riz Show folks out there that are getting up early. In fact, we saw some people leaving around the same time, and my wife was surprised to see people in the parking lot. And I was like, oh, man, he probably does construction is up at the same time we are, or he probably does this, or she does this. These are probably all early risers.
Well, think of most of their fan base. It's like 10 o'clock. The news is on. You got to go see what's happening.
Yeah,
you don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
Well, if you already feel like you need a nap, get in line, because I found a poll that said that we spend 1,500 hours a year feeling exhausted. The average is 4 hours a day, or 1,460 hours a year. Around a third of people said it's much more than that. 58% of us will avoid people or social interactions because we're too tired. 34% have skipped an event. 27 have canceled plans with friends, and a third of us, quote, often or always feel tired even after a good night's sleep. I'm raising my hand because I had a meeting today, and I canceled it. I canceled it last night at 11 p.m. on the way home. I did the voice to text and said, hey, listen, man, I am so sorry. I'll be fully honest. I have to push this meeting because I'm just leaving a concert and I got to get up extra early tomorrow, and this ain't happening. I was like, if you can't move the meeting, that's fine. You'll just have a brainless moon there, but my brain will be officially soggy cereal by the time we're speaking about anything. And it was no big deal. They were awake. Most people are awake late at night. It's weird.
It's really weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
But I did cancel a meeting. 33% of people said that they usually try to push things through and keep going. And the number one reason they gave was you just kind of have to, or nothing ever gets done. And most of us aren't pretending that we're wide awake, though. The poll found the average American will say, I'm tired, out loud, 3 times per day.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, I could see that being. I can relate to that.
In this room, I'm tired, or boy, I'm exhausted, or can't wait for the nap today. Happens at least 25 times a day.
So do you think we're going to initiate a siesta?
Oh, I'm napping today. I'm solid now.
Well, I mean like a mandatory siesta.
Oh, like the Europeans do, like the Spanish. I mean, what is the schedule over there? I always read that it was like a real chill kind of thing. They go to work in the morning, and then everybody goes home.
Over there, Spain.
Spain, yeah. Isn't it like typical?
I don't know.
Isn't it typical that they do the first half of their workday and even a school day, and then everybody comes home,
supposedly
has a lunch, like a family lunch, a little siesta, and then returns back to school or work. Yeah. Which then goes later. I think their school, this is just what I heard, if I remember correctly, that they go back to school, kids do, till like 4 or 5 p.m. because they got lunch with their family and siesta style. If that's true, man, I'd really love to give that a try.
And then they get August vacations.
What do you mean?
Like Italy, whenever I worked for the luxury retail stores, every August, all the headquarters are shut down for pretty much the entire month of August. And it's like everyone's on vacation.
You're kidding?
No. They take vacations throughout the year, but this is like, hey, you guys go do you. You don't need to come in today. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. This is on top of it all.
And that's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
The August.
So everyone travels. That's why they go to Canary Islands. They hit all those really beautiful spots over there in Europe because it's cheap to get there and they have time.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a win-win.
I think a lot of people were just surprised to hear that you worked for a Italian luxury place in L.A. for quite some time. But this guy knows his Italian shoes.
I do.
There's an Italian man with a shock of fiery red hair that really knows his Bruno Malle's or whatever they're
trying
called.
to sell me a $4,000 shoe.
Hey, I like a SpaghettiOs.
Well, here's something that I felt weird about. So I got home last night. Like I said, late 10 o'clock hour, probably around 11. And my wife and I are having a conversation, and I was like, dude, I got to sleep. And she's like, do you want to hang out and just kind of wind down? And, we watch Fargo. We do our little TV. And typically, our snack is like a kombucha or something, or like a tea, right? That's like what our snack is. I've basically been able to cut out food late at night.
That's huge.
Which has been huge. But I still feel like that tea or something like that is my snack. I've replaced it with something else. Do you guys like snack a whole bunch?
Nah.
Not anymore?
I like sleeping. If I have food too close to bed, now it's kind of like caffeine.
Yeah.
Still kind of sometimes will mess with me, but food is the one that'll keep me up.
It won't keep me up, but man, it'll wake me up with some
like light
heartburn, baby.
Oh, okay.
If I eat too close to bed, man, I keep doing it too. It's so sad when you know something about yourself and you just do it anyway.
Well, maybe this one time it won't happen.
I did it last night, man. Like I coming home from the concert.
Yeah.
I stopped and got some of those like Lenny and whatever cookies.
You got cookies on the way home from the concert.
They're supposed to be like the protein keto cookies, but you know what I'm talking about? Like the big macadamia nut ones.
Yeah, what are those called?
Lenny and something. I don't know. They got like a guy.
Oh yeah, they're wrapped you by my.
Yeah, they're like single cookie. They're big.
Yeah.
Lenny and Larry's.
Lenny and Larry, baby.
Lenny and Larry's complete cookies.
Brought to you by Pepto-Bismuth.
Pumpkin spice limited edition now available.
Well, I'll get that. The white chocolate macadamia nut one is good, and man, I don't know. I grabbed them and I go, you shouldn't eat these now. It's 11 o'clock. And then I ate them both.
Okay.
I was like, well, I'll just eat one, and I'll save one, and then I just ate them both, and then I just went to bed, and I woke up, I had terrible heartburn, had to drink Pepto-Bismol this morning, and I'm like, what?
Dude, I love how they're pitched, even on the website. Lenny and Larry's like, healthy cookies, protein-packed, non-GMO ingredients, good source of fiber.
Yeah, fart cookies. They should call them fart cookies because that's what they are.
Oh, really? Good. Yeah, it says good source of fiber. That's their third point here. And then the next bullet point is nutritious and delicious. And then it says, bite into this, our most popular treats. And here's the flavors. Pumpkin spice, okay. Apple pie, strawberry shortcake, pizza palooza, protein pretzels.
I never had any of those.
Bougie mustard, peanut butter chocolate chip, cookies and cream. I mean, obviously, you know, with the flavors, you got to be attractive, but it's just so funny to be pitched something healthy, and you got strawberry shortcake, the complete cookie.
I have their white chocolate macadamia nut. I recommend to anybody. It's very, very good. But don't eat it and then immediately get horizontal. I do it all the time, and that's part of the reason I'm tired. Probably, isn't it weird how you'll know something about this bad for you?
Yep. Yeah. Keep going.
But you can't. Like, we're supposed to be intelligent beings, but we will still do the thing that we know is terrible for us just because we like it.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. I mean, think of addicts.
And I'll be like, maybe it won't happen tonight. Maybe 2 cookies is like the perfect threshold.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what 2 cookies. You want to know what 2 cookies are as far as calories go?
No.
Are you sure?
I prefer you just didn't tell me.
Oh, come on, can't I?
All right, go ahead.
2 servings per container, right? It comes in a pack with 2 cookies.
Don't tell me that. I'm always just looking at it like it's one.
No. Get this. 2 servings per container.
I think 800 calories a cookie.
Is for 1 cookie because the serving size is a half a cookie. What kind of jackass company is going to give you a full cookie, a circular cookie, and tell you that the serving size is half of this?
I went to Stuckey's. You been to a Stuckey's before?
The gas station?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have their like signature Stuckey's pecan log. You know what I'm talking about? It's like this big like nut covered log. And I was on the road with Greg Warren, and I go, Greg's like, I can get one of these. And, he's like, that's only 450 calories. And I go, per serving, and they said there's 9 servings.
Oh my gosh!
Like that, I love how sometimes I think they take liberties on this stuff so when people are looking, and I go, the thing is just like the size of a candy bar. Could you imagine splitting that up into 9s and being like, well, I'm going to eat this over the next week and a half?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Let me give you this.
So that's like 3,000 calories a bar. How much was 2 cookies?
So a half a cookie is the serving size. The serving size calories. So for half a cookie, it's 230. So 460 calories per cookie. You talk about the farts and the fiber. 38% of your daily dietary fiber is in 1 cookie. You had 2, so you're pretty much covered.
Yeah. And you also had 52% of your included added sugars.
I just woke up bloated and ready to chug some pink stuff.
No, dude, he had there's 48% of the added sugars per cookie. So he had 100% of his daily added sugars.
Hey, that's good. You got 100%.
Right before bed. Right before bed.
Hey, man, I already said I regretted it. Why are you guys rubbing it in?
I'm trying to get you to stop. This is an intervention.
I can't stop.
This is an intervention. I have noticed, though, man. So I cut out snacks, and I'm going to talk about this like snack survey here, and this is why. I did cut out snacks recently, and dude, I said this a couple days ago. I didn't realize how addicted I was to chips. Like, chips are just, I really love chips. I didn't even realize how much I love chips until I took them away from myself. And, man, I do miss them, especially when my son's just chowing chips and salsa, dude. He's a chips and salsa addict. And I miss them a lot. And they say the key to dieting unsuccessfully is conveniently forgetting what you've eaten from day to day. And I mentioned this the other day. And my point when I was mentioning it, at the home run derby is I had this email sent to me that said, hey, people in the media are invited down to a soft opening of Pirano, that Gerard Kraft like pasta and salad bar kind of thing that he opened years ago that Riz and I went to, and I love this place. I love it's kind of like it's not Brazilian, but like down in Brazil they have these pasta bars that are kind of set up like Chipotle, where you like pick your pasta, pick your sauce, pick your thing. And that's kind of what I remember it being set up. So I've been so thrilled to go to Pirano. And I got the invite on Saturday to go at the soft opening, and the meal was going to be on them. And my wife and I, we went to a website and we RSVP'd, and we were so ready. And this was the home run derby day. And while we were on the field at the home run derby at like 9 o'clock, Riz goes, "Oh, dude, how was Pirano?" And I went, "Oh, my God, I forgot. I forgot to eat. I'm 43 years old, and I still forget to eat." And when I was reading this, it made me feel a lot better, because a lot of people are still forgetting to eat into their adulthood. There's a new report out on snacking, and it found that the average person skips 3 full meals a week. The average person also eats 3 snacks a day. So we're not forgetting our snacks. We're not forgetting our cookies. We're not forgetting our chips. We're not forgetting any of that stuff. Chips and fruit being the most popular choices. Crackers were the next. Who's still eating crackers? Like, I mean...
Well, there's all kinds.
Cheez-Its.
Oh, okay. That's a great point. That's a great point.
You know, there's all crackers
Gum,
come a
or
long way,
gummy
brother.
bears.
They're not just housed in saltines.
Yeah, yeah. That's, for some reason, that's what I think. I think of like Ritz crackers, and that's like a special occasion kind of thing. So crackers were next, then cookies, and then ice cream. Only 25% of people say that they're very aware of the daily nutritional value of protein that their snacks offer, which, by the way, there is a lot of protein in your cookies here. Protein, you had 10% of your protein in one cookie. So that's positive. We're going to end it there. Oh, and some vitamin D, by the way.
A little vitamin D goes a long way. I got some. It just, between that and having every sleep disorder you can possibly have, I'm jealous of people that, I always wonder what it's like to be one of these people that, because, you know, you're talking about naps. That was the original thing we started talking about. And I'm like, man, I'm always jealous of people who, like, sleep well, who can go to sleep fast, sleep very deep sleepers, pop up at like 5 a.m., don't need coffee, and can just go get it. And I'm like, that's like a superpower, man, to me.
It used to be me. It used to be me. I used to be able to fall asleep anytime, anywhere. Loud. I mean, I was sleeping in dressing rooms all the time just because if I wanted a nap, I just sit on the couch and take a nap, and people are partying and doing whatever. That was my superpower. You're right. It is a superpower, and it's my hair was cut. I've lost the strength of Samson. It is gone. I've lost the ability.
Yeah. You guys need to grow your hair out, because it still happens for me. I get good deep sleep most of the nights.
Really?
You do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I just feel like I have been tired for most of my adult life.
Oh, me too.
Even, you know, even when I was not really having anything to do, and even when I slept in, I'd wake up tired. Just because I feel like I'm fighting for air.
Yeah, you said you have the sleep apnea, right?
I have sleep apnea, but I also have, some nights it's not that bad, but it's like it just depends on the night. I also have both insomnias. So I have the kind where I have a hard time getting to sleep. And then sometimes I'll fall asleep for 30 minutes and wake up with like a shot of adrenaline, probably gasping for air, if I'm being honest. And then I can't get back to sleep. So it's like I can't stay asleep, can't go to sleep, like anything except sleepwalking, I pretty much have it. And it's like, I have sleep paralysis. That's more intermittent. That doesn't happen a lot, a few times a year, but that's like a...
You don't have sleepwalking?
I don't walk.
Oh, man, that's the only cool one.
I know.
Yeah.
That's the only
That's the only one that you can really find yourself in a fun situation.
And you're burning calories. You're burning them cookies off. Imagine if you were like imagine what a superpower that would be, dude.
A sleep runner?
Just like, yeah. Fred was on the treadmill again last night, sound asleep, and you just don't even know it. You're just getting the best snooze of your life, and you're on the treadmill.
I woke up 6 pounds lighter. Must have been a great run.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, I looked it up, and exercises that may improve sleep: yoga, light stretching, breathing exercises, aerobic exercise such as swimming, biking, jogging, resistance exercise, and mind-body exercise as well, and eating cookies.
Well, I mean, we didn't have to do a study on that. Like, make yourself more tired by exercising? Yeah, I bet it does help.
Have you ever done a study?
But no, stretching does.
Sleep study?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. They RoboCop me up over in Alton.
It's one of those where you like sleep over for the weekend, right? And they
sleep
got
for the
cameras
night.
on you. And...
You stay at night. I had one nurse, like in an it was real, because it's like they're trying to recreate There's nothing natural about it. When you do a sleep study, you literally put like a halo on your head with all these wires and a thing on your chest.
Oh, cool.
And you start to feel like the big Peter Weller at the beginning of RoboCop when they're still figuring out how to piece him back together. And then she's like, and then it's like it almost feels like the Exorcist room. It's like a bed with like there's like a little observation window like a police station would have over here. And there's a nurse behind it. It's like talking to you through a microphone. And it's just kind of like, you're sleeping in kind of a hospital room that's made to look like a bedroom, but it feels like you're on a movie set. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nothing
mimicking your natural environment. And she's like, all right, just lay down. And I go, can I put a TV on? She's like, no, we don't want to have any. And I go, this is how I've never gone to sleep without something like a podcast. That's not how my brain works. And she's like, no, we don't do any of that. We want natural sleep. And I'm like, this is the most unnatural I've ever felt in my life. I am wired up. I can't put on Seinfeld or something to make myself feel.
Did she just go, shut up and go to sleep?
Pretty much. And then, dude, I did fall asleep. And then halfway through the night, she woke me up and she goes, honey, put this on. And I go, what? And she goes, you stopped breathing 89 times in the first hour. And I go, is that bad? She goes, that's so bad.
We don't want you dying here.
Yeah, she was like, I go, my sleep study took 1 hour. And I go, is that bad or is that good? And she's like, that's bad. That's terrible. And she put a CPAP on me that night. She didn't wait. She didn't wait for the results. She was like, we're putting one on you right now.
So have you gone, since you got the CPAP, have you gone camping where you have no electricity, you're just out?
Yeah, and I haven't been using it a lot. Mine got recalled because it has
oh my gosh, that's great.
It has well, this is what I find out. This Philips Respironic, if you got one of those, people listen up. Public service announcement. They got recalled because the rubber seals were breaking off and people were getting like little pieces of rubber in their lungs.
What?
So I got to go
that's
get a
when
new
you know
one.
your sleep is crap, when you're breathing in rubber and don't know it.
Yeah, when your lungs are lined in Goodyear, you're having a bad year.
Man,
but anyway.
What a bummer.
Yeah, so whenever you go camping, have you noticed that your sleep is better or not?
No, why are you obsessed with camping? What's going on?
Because there's no electricity, there's no
Camping
TV,
is the
there's
sleep
no
study.
any of that kind of stuff.
This is
you
King's
just get to fall asleep in the wild.
Hey, welcome to King's Got Sleep Study. Go lay in this tent.
Go lay in a hot tent on the hard ground. No, that does not help.
Okay.
In fact, last time I went camping, it was so hot I left and went into a hotel.
Oh, that's right.
In the middle of the night.
That's right.
This is a King's Got Sleep Study. Yeah, if you could come down on Tuesday. Oh, where? Elephant Rock State Park.
Yeah,
that's where we're conducting.
You guys should
the
try
sleep study.
camping whenever it's not 100 degrees. It's pretty cool.
And I never forget to eat. I'd like to put that caveat out there.
You never forget meals.
I forget healthy meals, but I always, when I remember, boy, it all comes back to me quick. When I remember to eat, I remember hard.
Yeah.
2 cookie hard, 2 cookie 11 o'clock quick trip hard.
I do forget to eat still, and I've become more of a fan of food in the last like 15 years. When I was young, dude, it was my mother used to joke. She's like, dude, you got to find somebody that helps you eat, man, because you forget all the time. She would always say there's people that eat to live and there's people that live to eat. And I only ate to live. I hated eating because it was obnoxious to me that I had to spend time not playing. You know, I was just the kid that always wanted to play. I was just outside, and if I had to come in for dinner, I'm like, oh, God, what a waste of time. It was the 4th inning of the kickball game. You know what I mean?
Someone in the chat just said, I can't believe you referred to your respiratory therapist as a nurse. Cry emoji, heartbreak emoji. Get over it.
What
do you have against nurses? Why is that such a slap in your face? Sorry that I didn't say respiratory therapist. I don't know. She didn't identify herself that way. I just assumed. You're right. It probably was a respiratory therapist.
Should have been a nurse, though, because you were almost dead.
Yeah, I needed. But also, like, why do you think you're better than nurses? Some sort of respiratory therapist supremacy?
Ooh.
Let's see what's going on. I think nurses work hard, personally. Why is that such a slap in the face?
It is easy to tell a difference, though, between the therapists.
Let's talk about it in the chat. Why did that hurt you so badly that it took 2 heartbreak emojis?
Did you bring your cookies into the sleep study?
Hate them in bed.
Okay, man. Lenny and Larry's cookies are my nightly routine. I mean, how am I supposed to do this if I don't feel comfortable?
You're not taking these away from me.
The average person, by the way, can only remember 57% of everything that they ate over the last 3 days. What were your last 3 days' meals? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yesterday was kind of a snack food. dinner because I did have some dark chocolate, but there was mango and popcorn.
Mango, popcorn, and chocolate was your dinner?
Well, we went to the movies last night. And then,
cool.
Do you want lunch and breakfast as well?
Well, I mean, 3 days ago. Do you have any idea what you ate for dinner 3 days ago?
It would have been barbecued chicken and hamburger.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
You have any idea what you ate over the last 3 days?
Everything.
What have you eaten
You
these last
name
3
it.
days? Everything.
You name it, I've had it.
I even had leftover pizza. I remember that now.
Hey, what are you guys doing these days if somebody texts you something that you don't understand? Like OOTD, if you see that on social media or something like that. Do you have any idea what that means?
Outfit of the day.
Outfit of the day. Do you have any idea what LWKY stands for?
LWKY?
Yeah, LWKY.
Look what kids yell.
Look what kids yelled. Well, Google says the searches for LWKY have hit an all-time high this year. Have you gotten a text recently that you sat on for a second and then went and Googled what the heck it may have meant and then been able to respond?
No.
A lot of people are.
Huh.
They're actually not initials. It stands for low key. Just one more phrase that Gen Z has opted to redefine. It used to mean quiet or simple. Low key was like, hey, keep this low key. We're keeping it low key and we're only inviting 10 people. Now it means a guilty pleasure or something that you're embarrassed about, like don't tell anybody, but I low key love.
Like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. I low key love green bananas, or I low key love when Riz takes the day off. Google went back through 15 years of data and looked at the year searches for different acronyms that peaked that year that were searched, right? Mm-hmm. When they took off, we started using them. See how many of these you know. In 2009, it was FML. Anybody?
FML.
Fudge my life.
That's right. F my life.
2010
was FTW.
FTW?
FTW.
For the win?
For the win. For some reason, I can't commit that one to memory. But that's been floating for 14 years now. Okay. 2011 was SMH. That one took me years to figure out because I could not commit it to memory. But that was all over Twitter and everywhere. You know what that is? SMH?
Shaking my head.
Shaking my head. 2012 was YOLO. You only live once. That one really stuck.
A few tattoos.
2013 was OOTD, like you mentioned, outfit of the day. 2014 was THOT.
Thought. That hoe over there.
That's right. Yeah. That hoe over there. I did not know that. Still,
she's a thought.
I learned that today.
These thoughts need to get out of my head.
2015 TBH.
To be honest.
2016 WYD.
What you doing?
2017 TFW. Not FTW. TFW.
TFW?
TFW. This was a shortening for something that was kind of going around then. Like
What year was this?
This was 2017. You remember when everybody was tweeting that feeling when ... and then something?
Oh.
That they just shortened it to TFW.
All right.
That was 2017. Because it seems like a boring year.
Yeah.
Does anybody else remember anything that happened in 2017? 2018 was it's the only year that they didn't list one, but WTF was all over there as well. I guess people were refiguring out what that one meant. 2019 was FOMO, fear of missing out.
Oh, yeah.
2020 was FYP. Anybody?
Man, I know this one.
This really took off because of TikTok, but it was being used well before that in Instagram
For You
and
page?
social media. Yes, For You page.
Yeah.
2021, 1437. 1437.
I don't know.
It's short for I love you forever. I has one letter, love has four, you has three, and forever has seven.
Don't make me do two math problems in my head.
Well, that's just a take on what we were doing with pagers, back in the day. Remember, you'd do to your girlfriend, you'd be like, "Hey, call me 143." You remember that?
Yeah.
Did you ever have a pager?
Nah.
You didn't?
I never had one, but
wanted one.
My dad always had it, so that's the way we got a hold of him.
Oh man, we definitely did. I probably went to two or three of those before those were.
Somebody was telling me yesterday they thought DTF was down to food. for a long time. So they were sending it to people
Lern
when they
said
were.
that.
Maybe it was Lern.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just does it as a joke. I can't remember, but I'm like, that's very funny.
Oh man!
Imagine not knowing what that meant and just being in the family group chat, like, who's DTF? Dad starting a group chat. Hey, you're thinking about going to Chili's. Who's DTF?
Apparently, no one in this family is ever hungry. No one ever responds.
I don't know what you guys got against Chili's. It's great menu.
2022 was IYKYK.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. 2023 was BFFR.
Best friends forever?
No.
BFFR?
BFFR. I don't remember ever seeing this.
BFFR.
Be effing
Be farting in the family room?
Ah.
If you need me, I'll be farting in the family room.
Big fart family room.
I like that one.
And 2024, like I mentioned before, was LWKY. I low-key already forgot what that one means. Well, let's just stay with this. Alexa can translate and know dozens of languages, and one more to add to the list is How to Speak Gen Z. Amazon announced a new feature where Alexa can teach you how to talk like a Gen Zer. Just say, Alexa, talk Gen Z to me, and she'll spit out some slang along with the definition. They added 20 terms to start, and some of them you may know. Ick means disgust. T means gossip. Sus means suspicious. Mid means mediocre. And Riz, of course, means charisma.
Yeah.
Here are a few more Gen Z terms that Alexa knows that you may not, that Alexa will actually teach you. And I know I've said that many times and bothered a lot of people in their kitchens because I'm setting off devices.
Would you say Alexa?
That's right, Alexa.
Huh.
Drip. Trendy, high-class fashion. Like, did you see that guy's watch? He's got drip.
Mm-hmm.
Or you might even describe somebody as being drippy. I was drippy last night, that's for sure.
Yippee drippy.
It was very humid outside. The math isn't mathing is number 2. Things aren't adding up.
I didn't really need to decipher that.
This is one that my kids keep saying, at least the boys. We've been playing the finals, this like video game kind of thing, and they've said 8 multiple times, ATE. Used to praise somebody for doing something well or with style, like you ate with that outfit. Or you could go a step further and say you ate and left no crumbs. Which seems I thought these things were, the whole idea was
Back to my cookies.
Make it easier.
Yeah.
I feel like that one's just too much to keep up with. It's giving. Used to describe a certain vibe you're giving off, like I love your outfit. It's giving Beyonce. Mother, someone who's iconic or like a mentor. The example Alexa gives you is Rihanna is mother.
Huh.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and let Gen Z keep that one.
Yeah, there's a few of these that I am of the age where that's cool. You can have it.
Yeah.
Take whatever.
Yeah.
This is not gonna. It's not gonna stick with me. Air, spelled A-I-R, to intentionally ignore someone. Like, why is he airing my messages? Airing my messages.
Like out to dry.
We
Is
had
that it? I'm trying to find the connections. I've asked the kids multiple times. So they'll say something, and I'll go, 8? You
look this one up,
that? What's that
'cause-
mean? And they can't even explain.
Yeah.
It.
we had an email come in that's similar to this. It was for Grandma Lern, but it's okay that she's not here. It said, "Hey guys, Big Terry and Lern catching up on Monday's podcast. When we were at the Home Run Derby, these kids, these Gen Z kids that were there for the Home Run King of JUCO,
Yeah. Eric Sim.
tried to tell Lern, and we were standing there talking to him, and they're like, you hit tanks." She's like, "Thanks for what?" And she's like, "No, you was hitting tanks."
Oh man.
And she's like, "What? Are you saying thanks?" And he's like, "You hit tanks." And I'm like, "He's saying you hit a lot of home runs, tanks." And she's like, "I don't get it." And somebody sent an email in that said, "Understanding I have empathy for Lern, not knowing what hitting tanks was. I went to White Castle a few days ago. Guy at the drive-thru said, 'You got that motion, lil' cuh? You got that motion, lil' cuh?' To which I responded, 'I do not think so.'" And then I proceeded to immediately look up Urban Dictionary while a group of kids laughed at me. So you're not alone. I am now a grandpa. And I'll be honest, do he got that motion, lil' cuh? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Look up what's little motion, lil' cuh mean.
Little motion.
Please look that up.
You got that motion,
And by the
lil'
way,
cuh?
tank, is that either why they named it. There's a baseball bat that Eric Sim was using.
I think that's just his terminology.
Yeah, that's his
term.
thing. But that's the thing,
What,
like,
can you say little
motion?
You got that motion, Lil Cuh.
God, dude, we sound so old, and I hate that. But at the same time, like, embrace.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind at all.
There's always going to be slang, and it's everything comes back around.
Yeah,
Nothing's new.
we were.
All repurposed.
You know, we were young parents, you and me,
Sure.
and I'll say when my older girls, when I was raising them, I was like connected. You know, I was close enough. There was none of this like super big space. And then that much older than the next phase of kiddos that I'm raising, but man, the difference is just immeasurable. And I've hit this point where they've got their own thing. It is completely their own, and I'm happy for them. I actually kind of feel cool when they say something and I can see it in their face that they're disgusted that I can't understand it. Not that I won't, that I can't understand it. And you know what? Like a smirk comes across my face and I'm like, dang, dude, this is what it feels like. I'm over here and I don't have the strength to climb back over the fence.
Yeah.
I'm over here and I'm going to be happy with the yard that I'm now in. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with even talking about it on this show. Because at first, you know, it's like, man, we're sounding sort of old and people are giving us crap for sounding old. But, dude, we're pretty cool. We're pretty in the motion or something. What was it?
Yeah, I got that motion, Lil Cuh.
I got that.
Believe that.
You got that motion.
Listen, I got that motion, Lil Cuh.
That's when I was the motion. If the motion was the motion of 2 high fiber cookies going into my mouth while I sat in bed last night and left at PM. That's the motion I got. Did you find it? Urban Dictionary.
Nope, I'm trying to.
You still haven't got it?
No.
You don't have that motion, Lil Cuh.
I guess.
What's wrong? That mouse got no motion, Lil Cuh?
Dude, and that's the other funny thing is, so I'm on a computer. My son's on a computer. My other son is on an Xbox, and we're doing this game, right?
Okay, I got it.
And when they're talking to each other, this slang is thrown all over the place, especially in games, and you're yelling at each other. And dude, half the time I'm sitting there not understanding what they're saying, and then they start yelling at me like, "Dude, we said this," and they'll say all these different phrases, and I'm like, "What?" I'm the grandpa, just oblivious that I was even being spoken to. What's it mean?
Well, I clicked on it, and now it's not giving me. It says subtle feeling or something you want to keep on the down low.
Somebody said that to you in the drive-thru?
Huh?
Subtle feeling or something you want to keep on the
There's
down
got to
low?
be.
You got that motion, Lil Cuh?
Let me see. Motion according here. Let's see what motion is. Let's see what motion is.
We are grandpa.
He's always buying something.
Oh, always buy. Someone said this at the drive-thru. We are grandpaing in real time right now, by the way. Real time.
I got the motion, Lil Cuh. I just want to see if you guys had it.
Yeah. No, I know you had it.
Don't worry about me.
I can tell by the way you asked.
I'm just going to move on to random facts. Random facts. Let's stay with the grandpa stuff and talk about nerdy Team USA icon Steven Netarasic. This guy is not just a legend on the pommel horse, ladies and gentlemen. He can solve a Rubik's Cube in 8.664 seconds. That is his personal best, according to his TikTok bio. Earlier this year, he posted a video of him doing it in 9.7 seconds. Number 2 for facts of today. When the word girl started being used in the 1300s, it meant just a child. It did not specifically refer to a female until the 1400s. Rhode Island is 93 times smaller than Wyoming, but has nearly twice the population. During the Vietnam War, super glue was used to seal up wounds on the battlefield. Now they have that skin glue stuff.
Yeah, the liquid bandage.
Liquid bandage, that's it. That stuff
but
awesome.
I use super glue when we were out on our camping trip. I had to use it because my foot got rubbed raw, and I just kept putting super glue on it, and it worked.
Nice.
Yeah.
And number 5, the little button on top of a baseball cap. Do you have any idea what it's called?
The little button on top of the baseball?
Commit this to memory, listeners. This is a great trivia question that may end up winning you money.
I know what it is. A headache.
It is called a squatchy. The button on the top of a baseball cap is called a squatchy.
Wait, last time I went camping, I saw a squatchy.
Yeah, that's right. And today, by the way, is National Avocado Day. So
last time I sat on a bar stool too fast, I caused a squatchy.
Caused a squatchy.
That's when your testes hit before anything else.
No, that's when you're on that motion, Cuh.
Yeah, you're on that motion cup. You cause a squatchy. I can promise you that. Oh, you don't know?
The Team Riz Member of the Day brought to you by Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Swing by Hot Shots for Stella Artois. And the all-new Reaper Madness wings available for a limited time. Mike Foster. Hang on, let me get some clapping here. Mike Foster from Morrow, Illinois.
Yeah, Mikey.
He's a day one Riz Show listener, and the Riz Show team always makes his morning drives to work fantastic. Loves Moon's positive outlook and ability to see the good in humanity, King Scott's sneaky jokes, Rafe's stories, Lern's unique perspectives, and Riz's ruthless opinions on different topics. Mike's favorite segment is Craigslist Freak of the Week, and he's very grateful to the crew for always keeping him entertained. Mike Foster from Morrow, Illinois, is our Team Riz Member of the Day. Make sure you sign up at 1057thepoint.com/Team Riz. Hee-hoo! We need to start getting shout-outs to the rest of us. What about the rest of us? It's always a shout-out to Riz. He's not even here today.
Well, look at the name on the wall. It says Michael.
Oh, it does. It does say Rizzuto.
Ultra.
That's right. Welcome to the Rizzuto Show. Yes, Riz is out today. He's just taking today off because they had a late night last night with Red Hot Chili Peppers. Rafe and I went as well, but we had an earlier night. Learn's off, and they'll both be back tomorrow. No big deal.
Was it true that there was a secret show at the casino and the Foo Fighters played?
Is that true?
I just want to know.
Oh, man.
I want to know.
If anybody went, it would have been them.
Okay.
Learn would have known.
Yep.
She's the biggest Dave Grohl fan I've ever met. Scott and Rafe and I are here holding down the fort, and we're having fun. We are going to give out some tickets. We do have some Green Day tickets, Five Finger Death Punch tickets, Creed tickets, I Prevail Hailstorm, all of those shows that are coming up this summer. We have tickets to give away. We'll get to them in just a little bit, but first, let's do some news.
Oh, yeah, we gonna do some news.
And your news is sponsored by
Energy Stars Heating and Cooling, preferred partner of Ameren, Illinois, to make your home comfortable and affordable.
Listen, if you think your Monday sucked, listen to this. Jared Cooper works for a window washing company in Mobile, Alabama, sir, called Squeegee Squad. First of all,
band name too,
dude. There was a point where I was jobless. Or no, I think I had a couple jobs, but I was looking for something a bit more full time, and I answered one of those ads. I was doing like the circle of things in the papers. And this was right after I went to some weird marketing thing that was selling like knockoff perfumes and knockoff colognes.
Nice.
And I was like, this is not for me. I'm going to go over to the window washing, the tall building window washing place. And I probably would have done it had they showed up to the interview. The employer did not show up to the interview. But this guy got that kind of gig. And Monday afternoon, he was stuck, dangling from the side of a building 450 feet up. His equipment malfunctioned while he was cleaning the windows of Alabama's tallest building, the RSA Tower, 35 stories, 745 feet, including the spire. He was just below the 33rd floor, so almost to the top floor. And a piece of equipment called a descender locked up. Couldn't go up, couldn't go down. He's just standing there. I don't know about you guys, but when if any sort of vertigo or heights starts to hit and you can't change the situation, it only gets worse.
Really? Because in that moment, you kind of know that something's you're going to get somebody to help you.
Yeah, but then your blood pressure starts going, and your body starts ramping. Your body starts reacting, so then your mind feels your body reacting, and you start panicking about that. I
would immediately go to the bathroom just see what happens.
Just to calm down, just to make sure that you're making decisions.
Does make it all the way down
on
there.
An empty bladder. Well, he called 911, and firefighters were there within minutes. Then, since he had plenty of time on his hands, he was just stuck up there, so he called his mother. Her name is Charlotte Hopkins, and she was at work when he called, and says that he was pretty casual about it and just said, "Hey, Mom, I'm stuck up here on a ledge. I'm waiting to see if they'll even be able to get me down." She didn't freak out until she saw the photo of it on Facebook as it started making the news. It took the fire department over an hour to hoist him up and then, get him. He was okay. He called it just another day at work and said he planned to get back up there on Tuesday to finish the job.
Yeah. Well, we had a buddy that used to do this when he was a lead singer of a band, and whenever they weren't on the road, he was cleaning windows.
Really?
And
what band?
Squad 50. Jeff.
He was a window cleaner?
Yeah, that's what he did. He made a ton of money doing that. Or from band that made no money. It was a good paycheck. But I remember he kept encouraging me. He's like, he's like, you live in St. Louis. There's tall buildings. You make a lot of money on those. Go clean them. I'm like, it's a good idea.
All I know is those guys, especially like in the city with the office buildings that have the windows all the way down, those guys that do the whole squeegee thing.
It's an art.
That is an art. That is so cool looking. They are so good at it. They're so talented. I hope they are paid
And
well.
it always comes up on, well, not always, but sometimes it'll come up in my feeds, and somehow it's just soothing to watch.
It is so soothing. You've seen that on your feeds? That's a great piece of the algorithm that hasn't served me yet.
I have very clean algorithm.
Well, from bad luck to good, check this out. Think about what's in your spam folder right now. Have you even checked your spam folder? And I'm not talking about the stuff that you threw in spam. I'm talking about the stuff that just auto goes there. Does anyone ever check that?
No.
Rafe, do you ever check your spam folder?
Only if I'm really looking for something. You know, if I'm like waiting on something and I'm like, this isn't coming in, I'm going to go in there and check and see if it got, but I don't.
But you're only looking at that. You're not like actually going down and kind of scanning, what's been dropped.
Because when I go in there, it's hilarious. The stuff I get. I mean, it's 99% people trying to sell me Viagra.
Yeah, thousands of newsletters that nobody reads, marketing junk, Viagra ads, lots of phishing scams, all that kind of crap. Well, a 54-year-old woman in Michigan was going through her spam folder earlier this month, like actually kind of going through it, and she found a strange email that said she won a lottery prize of $207,199. Seems like an obvious trap. It wasn't. Turns out, this woman had been earning, quote, big cash second chance drawing entries by playing certain online lottery games, and the prize was totally legit. She said, quote, I didn't know that I was earning entries, so I was confused when I came across an email from the Michigan Lottery in my spam folder saying that I had won the lottery. After looking into it, I figured out it actually was real. This win was so exciting and could not have come at a better time. Which, by the way, even that quote seems like spam. That seems like a scam.
Yeah, it's like encouraging us to click on these things.
But that's wild, right?
But I got to investigate. I might be kin to her. We'll see.
Who would go? I would never touch anything that auto went to spam and talked about a lottery win. And if there was a link, like, are you crazy?
But I'm not involved with any website where I could. I mean, the closest would be Sweetwater. I always hope every month I'm going to win the big giveaway.
The music magazine. Dude. I think we're all so trained, at least most companies nowadays do like phishing scam tricks to train you to not touch anything, to never, ever touch links or spam folders or any of that. I feel like we've had it drilled into our head that we're going to ruin the company. We're going to bankrupt $1 billion company by opening up an email. I can't believe this woman even did that, but good for her. Good for her.
Yeah, dude, they've been trying to get me here forever since I started.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't opened. I think I have actual training I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm just like,
me too.
Nah.
Me too. I get the same one. They say
because if I don't do anything, then I can't do the bad thing.
That's right.
Exactly. I think I literally get stuff from HR where they're like, you literally need to complete this training. It's been 1.5 years, and I'm like,
yeah.
Nice try, phishing scam.
Exactly. there have been emails. There have been emails from the bosses.
HR is super mad at me right now. They're just like, dude, literally, we're not even supposed to be paying you because you haven't done these. And I'm like, nah,
yeah,
not gonna get me.
Well, there's a rumor, and I hope it's true, but the reason I keep getting those emails is because if you do it one time, you never get them anymore with our company.
If you do what?
Like you actually go through and complete the survey or the course or whatever, the show that you're not going to be fished.
Yeah, that's just them trying to get you.
Okay, see, that's what I think. I'm not clicking it, man.
I have not emailed. I mean, I have not opened emails or responded to emails that were from legit sources here because they looked just a little off, and I was like, no, you're not. You can't trick me. And then I've gotten in trouble. And Riz yells at me all the time. He's like, dude, you never responded to this email. I was like, well, it looked weird. It looked weird. They told me not to touch anything. It looks weird. Oh, man. Most people want their athletic wear to be comfortable more than fashionable, but if you're paying $100 for leggings, they can't give you long butt, right? Lululemon has pulled its new line of breeze-through leggings after being slammed with negative reviews and customer complaints. The leggings have a V-shaped back seam, which rises up from the seat of the pants all the way to the lower back. You got to check this out. Bring a picture of this up.
Okay.
The problem was a lot of women didn't find them very flattering. The common complaint was that they didn't have a cup to hold your backside, and it gave you a undesirable shape. Instead, it looked pretty flat. It was hard to tell where your backside ended. Other people just didn't like the prominent seam. But I thought long butt was back.
I hope not. I've been begging for that not to be back because it's disgusting.
Well, you're going to get a lot of emails about that. What? You're going to get a lot
I,
of
for one,
emails
have
about
long butt. I am not disgusting.
I, for one, I
have a
respect
long
all butts. Long and wide.
There's
Long boob. Any long part of a woman's body, I love it. What do you guys define as long butt? Is this like the high-waisted jean? Like what gives long butt?
well, it's the mama jeans that come up to like basically the bottom of the chest.
Mom jeans?
Yeah.
So
Right?
if
And it makes
mom-
you look at
Illusion
your
of a
crack.
longer butt.
Yeah,
Makes
if
your
mom-
crack look like it's about 2 foot long.
If mom jeans are done right, it's pretty tight.
Yeah, they're tight.
The leggings were priced at $98, so a rep for Lululemon said that they were going to reconsider the design. Quote, "We have made the decision to pause on sales for now to make any adjustments necessary to deliver the best product possible." She added that she plans to use her winnings. Never mind, that was from another thing. Yeah, they're trying to make the the best possible product experience and redesign the long butt leggings is what people are reviewing them as.
I'm trying to find. They do not want pictures out there because every news article has
they
nothing
scrubbed
except
it?
for their logo.
No.
Come on.
Well, check this out. So Lern catches a lot of heat for being the hippie type on the show now. And she just said this yesterday, if I remember right. And here is the article to back up what Lern was saying yesterday. If you eat, drink, and breathe cheese, this is not for you. But for everybody else, a new study found that eating vegan for 2 months can turn back the clock when it comes to your biological age. That's how old the cells in your body look, regardless of what your actual age is, right? So you might be 40, but your biological age is 36 or 48, depending on how healthy you are at a cellular level. Researchers have they had identical twins follow two different diets, and maybe you guys have seen the show. There's a show about this as well. One ate vegan for 2 months. The other ate a more typical diet of meat, eggs, and dairy. By the end, the ones who ate vegan saw their biological age drop slightly, while the ones who didn't eat vegan saw no change or the other direction.
I know why.
What's that?
Because the loss of muscle mass and everything, you get weaker like you do as a child, and then as you're a grown man, gets stronger because they're eating all the beef. It's very good. Hey, I got a picture of the Lululemons though. That looks fantastic.
That is kind of long, but
it's not terrible.
it's got a seam that comes up. Yeah, that's not bad.
I applaud.
No, that frames the butt well.
Do remember though that is a model.
That's what every person looks like.
Scott, you
That's
love
me,
getting in
dude.
trouble.
That's actually me.
Rafe Williams in Lulu leggings.
When I told you guys I was at the Netflix festival, I was actually doing a Lululemon long butt shoot.
Finally.
It's the Rafe Williams Lululemon long butt edition, and it didn't take off, guys. So I guess I'll be re-signing a contract here at the Rizzuto Show if offered.
The vegan twins also lost about 2 pounds more per month because they consumed fewer calories. Do you collect anything that you consider odd and you swear it's going to be worth money someday? I knew somebody that collected the McDonald's toys for a long time, and then he got into I think it was Snoopy, like rare Snoopy things, and I do think that those are valuable.
Well, yeah.
But he was like unopened Snoopy things, like a unopened Pez. That was a big thing for a while.
Those are still worth a lot.
Do you have any weird collections, either of you? You don't seem like collection kind of guys.
I mean, I have still have comics and baseball cards and stuff in my mom's basement from when I was a kid. I don't really collect them now. I'm trying to think if there's anything like.
You still have the cards?
Yeah, I got some good ones.
You think there's value there?
Probably. I mean, I don't know what the market is on baseball cards anymore. We don't have Beckett to keep us straight. Used to be able to get a Beckett magazine, figure out what kind of stash you were sitting on.
I had the Beckett next to my bed.
I mean, I have a bunch of cards that are I have a Roger Maris rookie card. It's a little beat up.
Look up the value of that.
Roger.
My friend actually gave it to me for Christmas because my brother took it to school and traded it for a pack of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle trading cards.
The whole set, or just a pack?
A pack.
Oh,
wouldn't
which
have
one is
mattered
this
anyway.
now?
And it was
Roger
the one. It
Maris?
wasn't the movie. It was the
cartoon.
The cartoon.
Yeah, I had those too. I had the whole set, and I swore those were going to be. I had them in a nice Turtles tin and everything. I swore those would be worth something.
Which do you know the
Roger Maris? You said rookie card?
1967. It was either rookie card of the year he broke the record. It at one point as a kid, it was worth like $400 or $500, and
Was he
that in white trash money was $1 million.
Was he Cardinals or Yankees outfit?
Yankees. Cardinals was way later. I had a baseball signed by him when he played for the Cardinals.
Dude, in the 80s, $400 was $1 million.
I mean,
keep going.
Does it look familiar?
Keep going. I'll let you know.
That one was worth $140, and it was
go back to the $295 one.
Mint condition.
It might have been that one.
I mean, those are in mint condition. You say yours is beat to hell?
Well, mine was, and then that one right there on the left, $55. Bummer.
Hey, that's still sweet.
That is definitely the one, though.
That is neat looking.
I would 1960, have that in the hard case,
1963 Roger Maris.
That was worth some real money at one time,
hard cases where you screw in the little screws.
Oh yeah. Like the vaults.
That's what I had it in. I had a few, and I was bummed, man. I had that, and I had a Roman Gabriel rookie card, which was he was the quarterback for the Rams in like the 60s.
I don't know who that is.
Hall of Famer. It was very rare. My uncle gave it to me. My brother took those 2 cards to school and traded them for.
Oh my gosh!
My brother was that guy.
Yeah,
he was his middle brother through and through.
He knew how to make money, huh?
I had that card right there.
$230.
You can retire.
$225. That's signed.
Yeah, mine wasn't signed, but that's the card.
Does signed
That's still not bad.
increase it or decrease it?
I think it depends on the
Increases
quality.
if it's real, I'm sure. But I mean,
look at these.
But then you have to pay to get it graded. And do you know, like, so my son was into Pokemon cards, and he had, like, he still has tons of them, right? And then some of them are crazy valued. Like, we bought him, like, his Christmas present was like a $75 Pokemon card. Yeah. But it was graded. And I know that if you get something in a pack and you send it off to be graded, that costs you like $200.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
So if you're selling a card that's graded, a Roman Gabriel graded card for $200, they're breaking even.
I think the reason it's not mint, the card is not in mint condition.
Well, and the other thing is, it seems like the market's not as hot as it used to be. You know, the value is only what someone's willing to pay.
Right.
And I feel like we grew up in peak trading card time.
Yeah.
They're not. You're probably selling them to an old guy at this point. Let's be honest. You're probably selling it to, like, if someone's buying those, it's probably some dude older than us who's just got some money to burn and was like, I wanted this when I was a kid. I'm gonna go buy all these like nostalgic things to put in my office. Because I mean, there was a time, man. I had like the '87 Topps, the whole set. Had Barry Bonds rookie card in it. Had like all. I was sitting on some cash, brother. I don't know that if I went liquid on my '87 Topps, I'd probably get $12 for it right now.
That's the only thing my brother's ever been into is sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
He's got tons of it. Tons of bats and photos and signed stuff and cards, and he's got all that. And I just wonder where
I don't go hard on that anymore. I'll get like matchbooks when we go on, like, or when we go to national parks, you know, I'll get a magnet or, you know, little trinkets. But I don't really collect anything. I don't have like Beanie Babies all over my bed or nothing like that.
Well, I
swear to God, don't look.
If you're in the chat, like, you know, tweet us or tell us what you're collecting in the chat, or email it over rizshow@1057thepoint.com.
I just remember I had a few amazing cards. One, I have 2 copy Brett Favre rookie cards that at the time, whenever I was a kid, they were worth a ton of money. And it just seems like it goes down every year. I just looked; it's only $30 right now.
You better sell them now, dude.
Yeah,
it's going
and
down.
then the David Robinson, I had this really rare, like, you know, they print maybe 100 of them or something. Some foil card was part of the set that is very rare set, and at the time it was worth a few $100s, and it's down to like $50 or $60 now. So you're like, golly, I thought I'd retire off of those.
Just hold.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold.
Well, your guys' collections are nothing on this gal. 77-year-old woman in England named Mary Jacobs is trying to offload her unique collection of 163 different bedpans. She's been collecting bedpans for 40 years. Yes, bedpans. She bought her first bedpan at the Salvation Army in 1984. So she got a used bedpan in 84, has been going ever since.
They look cool.
She decided to keep buying more because, quote, I just wanted to collect something different, and it snowballed. So she put them up for auction this month. Shockingly, not a single bid.
Not a drip?
Not a drip, even though she says, quote, they're clean, washed, and in fantastic condition.
Yeah.
So if you're in the market for some more crap, Or for something to hold your crap, they are still available. Mary Jacobs, 163 bedpans. Going once, going twice. Sold back to Mary Jacobs.
Good job.
Is this a money-saving hack, or is this unethical, or is this brilliant? Instead of paying $3 to buy your kid a cake pop dessert at Starbucks, which, by the way, I think is more than $3, but those things are the most tasty things on earth. All you got to do is ask for a pup cup. It's not on the menu. They'll give you a cup of whipped cream if you say it's for your dog. And the idea has been making the rounds after an Instagram mom told people to do it. Today.com polled thousands of readers to see if this is an acceptable hack or not. Some say it's taking advantage, but most think that it's actually fine to do. And according to a statement on it from Starbucks, they're right. You don't even need to lie. Quote, "We love seeing the different ways our customers brighten loved ones' days with Starbucks. Customers can order a side of whipped cream with the purchase of a beverage at no extra charge." So this mom was saying, like, this is like a snack for your kids. Ask for a pup cup. And then, have to give them a cake pop. But I don't know, unethical or brilliant?
Well, I mean, if the company itself is saying, that's cool as heck, go for it, I guess it's all right.
Rafe, unethical or brilliant?
Brilliant.
All right.
Get that money. Get that bag, baby.
Yeah, and it's a great way to, because it just also is proof we're willing to eat anything sugar as a kid. It's like, I'm happy with that, or ice cream, or anything.
Yeah, man, it's pretty good. Maybe I'm cynical, and I know I am with Riz on this. It's probably never a good thing if you walk outside of your home and a stranger runs up to you and gives you a hug. I, for one, I don't think I would appreciate that. Would you appreciate that?
That's the Overland tradition. You just walked in the street, everyone's hugging each other.
Surprise hugs?
I think that's just you, man.
I
I wonder why the cops. I get to know all the cops.
I think they're just like, there's this weird guy that hugs everyone on Main Street in Overland every Sunday, and you're just like, yeah, it's tradition. You're like, no, it's not, dude. Like, you're the only one doing it. Well, that's how traditions start.
Well, you're not alone. At least earlier this month, a man in California was outside when a vehicle parked out front. A woman jumped out, runs straight up to him, and hugs him. Then she forcefully removed the gold chain from around his neck. There was also a man in her vehicle. He didn't get out. The thief sped off with the chain, and he called the police. Amazingly, the cops located the two suspects. They were known as the Hugging Bandits for quite some time there. Cop arrested the two suspects the next day. They had 50 pieces of stolen jewelry similar to the chain. The cops said that they've been repeatedly doing this hug and grab stunt. They would just run up to somebody, hug them, take their stuff, bolt.
Wow.
Cops are warning people that this could happen anywhere, including Overland, Missouri.
Oh,
be vigilant, especially when random redheads are trying to hug you. It's never a good thing.
You guys want to buy a gold chain? I got a bunch of them right now.
And that is your news. Riz. You know what? Before we jump into crap on celebrities, I got to tell you, I meant to end the news segment with a good story. We got some, well, just in general, multiple good news that I found making their rounds. A woman in Ohio named Megan Schultz has given her old sorority sister a kidney. Can you imagine giving somebody a kidney that's like outside of family and all that? How amazing is that? They hadn't even seen each other in 10 years.
Man.
So the surgery's all set for November 12th. Jen House is the friend. Megan got tested after she saw something about her kidney search on social media. She saw it on Facebook, I think, and she FaceTimed Jen to give her the good news, and they posted the video online. She went and got tested, and turned out she's a match. She's giving her a freaking kidney.
That's awesome. Yeah, if I found one, I'd give you guys a kidney for sure.
I bet. A 40-year-old guy went hiking. Get this story, dude. A 48-year-old guy went hiking in Kentucky this month, and he did not come home. So, big search and rescue mission. Nobody found him. Nobody could find him. No trace of him. And they were literally about to stop looking. It was the last day that they could even officially, continue this search and rescue mission. He had been missing for over 2 weeks. And somebody found him on the last day of the search. Severely dehydrated, covered in bug bites, couldn't walk. They airlifted him out, and he's expected to make a full recovery. There's a photo of him going around in the hospital. And I have the Chief John May talking about the rescue. I just thought this was such a cool story.
They heard someone yell. They responded back, and then the gentleman said, help, help, and they asked who it was, and he said, Scott. When he ran his license plate, that's kind of what triggered this whole event, because there was a missing persons report filed in Ohio where he was actually missing from. He had recently purchased a new pair of boots, a wet dry shirt, and more importantly, a GPS watch. So we were in the process of getting a warrant to try to collect data from that watch to see if it might have a coordinate showing his last location, and we put him basically in a skid and a bag that he goes in, and they actually did a hoist of him from that location so we didn't have to carry him out.
How amazing is that?
Wow,
That's some
thank
real
God.
detective work to find this guy on the last day. They found out that he had purchased a GPS watch, tracked it all down through this whole thing, and then found this guy laying out
My
in the woods.
question is, why'd they wait till the last day? They could have done it the first day, been done a little quicker. And
Oh, right. You're gonna blame them? Who knows? Maybe they did. It just took that long to get all that information. But
That's true.
Thank goodness. Dude.
no, how cool is that?
What a
and
cool
what
story.
a fun, not a fun job, I guess, but what an awesome job. And to be a search and rescue person that goes out and does this, that is really cool.
and have
Get to be a
success.
hero and
have success
yeah,
like that.
you guys
too,
are
man.
awesome.
Save somebody's life last minute, legitimately last minute. It is July 31st here on 2024. Here's a little back in the day, 96 years ago, 1928. The MGM Lion roared for the first time at the beginning of the studio's first talking movie. Quote, White Shadows in the South Seas. That's the name of the movie. There was only one word in the dialogue in the entire film, and that word was hello. 53 years ago, 1971, James Taylor's version of the Carole King classic, You've Got a Friend, hit number one. 44 years ago, 1980, the Eagles imploded on stage when Glenn Frey and Don Felder got into it at a benefit concert after Glenn thought Don insulted Senator Alan Cranston while the senator was thanking the band for their support. 40 years ago, 1984, the U.S. men's gymnastic team upset China to win the team gold medal at the L.A. Summer Olympics. They won thanks to a perfect 10 performance by Tim Daggett, Bart Connor, and Mitch Gaylord. 33 years ago, 1991, President Bush and Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev signed the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty in Moscow. They used pens made from metal from nuclear missiles that were destroyed under the 1987 treaty. 29 years ago, 1995, the Walt Disney Company agreed to acquire Capital Cities ABC in a $19 billion deal. 26 years ago, 1998, Nicolas Cage received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. 14 years ago, 2010, Alicia Keys married producer Swizz Beatz on the island of Corsica. She was pregnant at the time and gave birth in October. 10 years ago, 2014, Ray Rice publicly apologized for his domestic violence incident where he dragged his future wife out of an elevator by saying, "This is not who I am as a man, not who my mom raised me to be. I let so many people down for 30 seconds of my life that I can't take back." And 5 years ago in 2019, Woodstock 50 was canceled after permits fell through. They had trouble finding a new venue, and too many artists said, nah. All right. Let's get into some crap on celebrities. Leave it to social media to be way off from what something actually is. Snoop Dogg catching a lot of devil heat about a necklace that he's been wearing on the Olympics that folks were saying is a demonic goat skull. That's some devil worshiping stuff that Snoop Dogg is
I saw it on my Twitter feed.
peddling out here. So here's Snoop Dogg explaining his new goat necklace after he heard some people were saying that it had something to do with Satan.
I don't know what y'all thought this was, but this is the GOAT. I had this made because somebody told me I was the GOAT, so I wanted to make me a GOAT chain. I don't know what y'all talking about, but this is the GOAT, greatest of all time. GOAT. Dog is the GOAT. Represent peace and love.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Dog is the GOAT. There's been a lot of talk about Miley Cyrus and her feud with her dad, Billy Ray. When she was being interviewed by David Letterman on his Netflix show, My Next Guest, this is what she had to say about her parents. Anybody seen that show, by the way? It's pretty good.
Which one?
David Letterman's My Next Guest. I was never a Letterman guy, and the older I get and the more I've seen him do this kind of stuff, I really like him.
The more his beard gets longer, the more I like him.
Maybe I only like bearded Letterman. Anybody watch that show?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Any standout moments? I watched the one with, what was it, Kim Kardashian, I think. And did he have Dave Chappelle in one of the early seasons?
He had Chappelle. He had Obama. That was a good one. The show's cool. He has another one, too. He did it. The Comedy Festival on Netflix, he did, like, some sort of thing. It was really cool because he would have, like, a comedian come out and do, like, 10 minutes, but then would kind of interview them on the couch in the same way, which was huge for guys like Sam Morrill and Brian Simpson and, like, up-and-coming comics who weren't household names yet. And I'm like, getting a David Letterman bump like that is... Yeah. And they get to know you. Like, it's not just you coming out at the end of a late-night set when everyone's going to sleep. And like, it is a show on Netflix. You can watch at your leisure. And I don't know. He's a compelling interviewer. Yeah, he is. He's really good at it.
I really like him. I think I was just too young to get him when he was on late night. Here's Miley talking about her parents.
My mom is my hero. And my father, I'm grateful for his genes. My dad has great hair, and I got that. I also inherited the narcissism from my father.
There's not estrangement here with your father.
Yeah. What is so beautiful is that my parents, they served their children. There is a map of what to do and what not to do, and he's guided me on both.
Ooh, kind of a burn there, I think. It's probably not what you want to hear.
You know what? Yeah, I'm sure he has not been a great dad. I'm sure that it's hard. It's tough, though, for me because I'm like, man, I'm not saying she's not a star. She is a star in every...
I know what you're going to say.
But she is a Nepo baby, man. Like, she is, to some degree, there were doors opened for her because of her father's career.
Well, yeah, Hannah Montana was his thing, right? Didn't he?
I definitely. He was definitely involved. Not that that's good or bad. I mean, maybe it was bad getting her into that early and not letting her have a childhood. I don't know. I don't walk in her shoes, and I understand that, like, there's family trauma at all levels. Just because you're rich and famous doesn't mean that, like, feeling crappy towards your parents doesn't happen.
Right.
But it's that, I guess she is kind of thanking him for the good and the bad, but, like, dropping that narcissist. At least she admitted she was, too, I guess. She's like, I got my narcissism from him.
Yeah, but there's a lot of self-deprecation out there that looks like self-deprecation that's actually kind of just veiled
prosecution.
Other things. You know what I'm saying? I love how people are like, oh, I'm so self-deprecating. But you're like, but are you? I mean, you only do it as a strategy to ultimately self-aggrandize. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like Miley Cyrus. I have no idea what's going on in their family.
She's super talented.
It does seem like an entertaining reality show, though. That's for sure. Well, if you ever saw 2009 Disney Channel crossover special, Wizards on Deck with Hannah Montana. So it was a mix of the Wizards of Waverly Place, Sweet Life on Deck, and Hannah Montana. You probably noticed that Miley Cyrus and Selena Gomez never shared a scene together. Well, according to Jennifer Stone, who played Harper on Wizards of Waverly Place, Miley and Selena actually had beef. She says they, quote, intermittently got along. It was like high school. They both dated Nick Jonas. I didn't know that. I think Miley dated him first, and then Selena dated him, and it was like a messy high school nonsense. They're fine now. They're all good now, but yeah, it was high school BS. Miley dated Nick between 2006 and 2007. Selena dated him briefly in 2008 and then again in 2009. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's son, Pax, ended up in the hospital after he crashed his electric bike into the back of a car on a busy L.A. street. If you've been to L.A. recently, everybody has these bikes. These like $2,000 e-bikes. They are everywhere, dude. They're even just like bike chained. Remember how we used to chain our bike or Crestwood Plaza, our bike that was worth like $40? These are like $2,000 and $3,000 bikes, and people are just cruising them everywhere, and they just got a little chain on them, but they are everywhere. This kid had a nasty crash. Car stopped at a red light. He hit it. He was not wearing a helmet. Paramedics were called. Witnesses say he was suffering from hip pain and a head injury. It may not have been too bad, though, because TMZ said that he was in stable condition and that he may have even been released last night. Pax is 20 years old. Taylor Swift has issued a statement on the mass stabbing that occurred Monday during a Swiftie-themed dance class in the UK. Did you guys hear about this?
I haven't read the whole thing. I saw the headline, and a mom's upset about some stuff, too.
So 3 girls were killed in a stabbing rampage at a Taylor Swift-themed dance and yoga class in northwestern England as police questioned a 17-year-old suspect that was arrested in the attack that wounded 10 others. Taylor came out and said, quote, the horror of yesterday's attack in Southport is washing over me continuously, and I'm in complete shock. The loss of life and innocence and the horrendous trauma inflicted on everyone who was there, the families and the first responders. She added, these were just little kids at a dance class. I'm at a complete loss for how to ever convey my sympathies to these families. In addition to the 3 kids who died, 5 others were left in critical condition. 2 adults were also injured. I didn't even catch this story, so I was catching up on all of it after reading this quote. Horribly sad. Horribly, horribly sad. Elizabeth Banks could have died on the set of her upcoming thriller Skincare. Luckily, a coworker sprang into action and saved her life. She was alone in her trailer, eating her lunch, and she started choking on a pea. P-E-A. Pea.
Oh.
She says, quote, I threw the door open. I could not make any noise. I was so afraid. It was terrifying. I happened to see somebody who said, are you choking? And I gave him the sign. And he came over very calmly. I backed right into him, and he gave me the Heimlich maneuver. He had to do it twice. It came loose. He saved my life literally on the set.
Whoa.
So do you think you could safely do the...
I've done it.
Do we call it the Heimlich still? I thought we changed it to abdominal thrust or something.
Why,
like
did
that.
he get canceled?
No, I forget why.
But yeah, I've done that. And then
You saved somebody's life?
I've had it done to me. Yeah, I mean, I guess they survived.
Hey,
but
let's not stamp it down at all, dude. You saved a
saved
life.
numerous lives.
Life-saving King Scott, everybody. All right.
Pretty good.
Tell us the story.
But my favorite one was whenever I was choking
Your
on
favorite one.
some chicken, very dry chicken, and I was at my girlfriend, but now my wife's house, and her sisters saw me choking, and so she ran over to give me the Heimlich, and she so confidently runs over, puts her hands around, she's like, wait, how do I do it? And then everyone I just
said that while you were
I started laughing, and somehow the laughing loosened up the chicken and it fell down.
What? She saved you without touching you?
Laughter is the best medicine.
It really is. But I just
Oh my
realized, like, God, I'm so
gosh.
screwed.
To your sister-in-law.
Yeah. I just knew I'm like, well, this is it. Here we go.
Wow. All right. Well, given the success he's helped bring the Kansas City Chiefs, you'd think that Patrick Mahomes would be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. And I think he was for about 8 seconds.
Yeah.
But he is not. He is not even top 10.
He's already knocked out of that?
Dude, Patrick Mahomes is tied for 11th place with Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons.
Hilarious.
They both get a measly $45 million a year.
That
But
is
does Patrick feel underpaid? Nah. He says, quote, it's about having a good dialogue, good communication with the front office and ownership. We've done that here. And as we've been able to allow me to be a highly paid guy while at the same time build a great team around me. He adds, I'm doing pretty well for myself. For me, it's just about going out there, trying to win football games, trying to make money for the family at the end of the day. I feel like I'm doing a great job of that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, can't complain with
Yeah, I feel like he sees the big picture, man. Like, a lot of guys don't. I feel like he sees the Tom Brady picture where he's like, yeah, I'll take a little less money.
And build a team that's going to get rings.
Yeah.
And win and let those endorsement deals fill the gap.
And I'm sure the Super Bowl payouts have been very nice.
Fill the gap. Like there's a gap.
Well, I'm just saying, like the gap between 11 and 1, you know.
Between 45 million and 100 million. I know what you're saying, man.
I feel like
I think he's playing it smart.
He gets it. He's just like, he's a winner, man. He wants to win.
And he was smart.
He's willing to like restructure his contract to make people happy and be like, yeah, man, if you're a crucial part of the team. And like they got a good team. They're not stacked like some other, like they're not like Dallas Cowboys stacked, but they managed to, he's won with like, when Tyreek left, they're like, oh, it's over. And they find pieces, and he's like, just I'll move some money around. Let's have a good team. Let's give ourselves an opportunity to win. And then you stay in the national spotlight. You get that State Farm money, dude. You get that Gillette money. You get that Head and Shoulders money, and it's like,
yeah. And then
I feel like he gets it, and then all these other teams blow their wad on an Aaron Rodgers, and they got nobody around him. You spend all this money, to pay these guys, and then eventually you're going to have a wide receiver who's good, and you're not going to be able to pay him, and they're going to get traded away, So it's like it's cool that he has an attitude like that.
Yeah,
I think that's
he's
rad.
He's smart enough to also create, he's invested a ton in random businesses, and I think he knows that's what's going to help him make up the difference.
Right? Isn't he? Didn't he bring Whataburger to Kansas City?
He owns the women's soccer team, too.
Yeah.
He and his wife.
And he owns another pro team of some sort.
Very cool.
He's doing good.
I am really intrigued to see what happens with this Aaron Rodgers stuff coming down the next season.
Well, yeah, they're already picking them. Wasn't they picked for the Super Bowl? Weren't we both laughing about that?
Dude.
I was just like, wow. What are you basing that on?
They
he snapped his
predicted
Achilles in the first 4 plays of the season.
I forget what the publication was, but they were saying that if anybody missed this, that the prediction for the Super Bowl final this year would be the Jets against the Packers, Rodgers against his old team, and I think y'all are crazy. But hey, if you want to make a weird bet, I guess that's the one. Check out this full circle moment. Jelly Roll, who is back in the news.
Yeah, finally.
The ex-convict is now Jelly Roll, the deputy sheriff. He was sworn in with the oath of office by the officer in Michigan named Sheriff Swanson. Quote, "This is the real deal. You walk into any facility, you can tell them that you're the deputy sheriff from Genesee County." And when Jelly Roll was presented with his badge and official sheriff ID, he had only one thing to say, and he said, "From convict to deputy." So maybe that's the next song. He's been working closely with Sheriff Swanson for some time, supporting their Ignite program, which encourages inmates to get their GED while incarcerated. This helps them possibly find employment upon release and cuts down the chances of them reoffending. So I think that's really cool. While Jelly was up in Michigan, he also cut the ribbon on the Jelly Roll Music Studio at Genesee County Jail in Flint. There's pictures. We'll share the pictures. Pardon me. In addition to helping the inmates find an education, they're also providing them with a creative outlet in the form of a jailhouse music studio. That's pretty interesting and kind of cool. Kathy Lee Gifford was hospitalized after suffering a traumatic fall. Gifford is 70. She revealed on Tuesday that she fractured her pelvis in 2 places after tripping and falling while rushing to meet one of her friends who came to pick her up at her house. I am making the eek face because we all know the stats. We all know the stats. Wishing her a great and easy recovery.
She'll do fine.
Rapper Chino XL passed away on Sunday. He was only 50. There's no word yet on the cause of death. And Robert Downey Jr., Lern talked about this yesterday, was unveiled at Comic-Con for playing Dr. Doom. How much will he earn for playing Dr. Doom in the upcoming Avengers movies? How much do you think?
Does that include the back end of it, or is it just all...
There is a report going around that says that they know how much he's getting paid for this.
Okay, if it's up front, I'm going to say it's $75 million.
$75 million. Rafe, how much?
For what?
Will Robert Downey Jr. reportedly earn for playing Dr. Doom in the upcoming
I thought you meant the movie.
Movies?
I was like, I don't know how I would guess that. I'm guessing that's a lot. I'm going to say $25 million and a back-end deal.
$75 million is a lot, but he's reportedly going to earn $100 million.
Holy shnikes.
$100 million shnikey dollars.
Just to play a character?
For playing
I'm
Dr.
sure he's
Doom.
locked in for X amount.
Oh.
Well, so he's going to play Dr. Doom in the upcoming Avengers movies. That's in addition to his $500 to $600 million that he already earned from Marvel for playing Iron Man in the previous 4 Avenger movies, 3 Iron Man films, and cameos in The Incredible Hulk, Captain America: Civil War, and Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, Variety is reporting that Downey would only return to the MCU if the Russo brothers directed the films that he'd be starring in, which Marvel did agree to. But that's also a pricey line item, as the Russo brothers are reportedly going to be paid $80 million to direct both Avengers: Doomsday and Avengers: Secret Wars. Avengers: Doomsday is set for release May 1st, 2026. Avengers: Secret Wars following on May 7th, 2027. All right, let's get to this list. The Rolling Stone staff put together a list of what they think the 2024 songs of the summer are. You guys got to seem pretty connected here. if you're even going to get 2 on this list. So you want me to just read them? I got 17 of the 2024 songs of the summer. Anybody want to?
It's got to be some Beach Boys, like Surfing USA.
Not Surfing USA. I'm sorry, there are no Beach Boys on the list.
I was just kidding about. I was being goofy.
Oh, of course, man. Number 17 was Sandpaper from Zach Bryan featuring Bruce Springsteen. 16
are these current songs of the summer?
These are all current songs.
Oh,
so
I
don't know any of these.
History.
I'm sorry, I know one, and that's only because Goldfinger did a cover. And
so this is like releases in the last couple years.
This is this summer. The songs of this summer.
Okay.
Maybe this is on the list for this show.
Well, there's got to be. Let me think. Lainey Wilson's got to be on this with I don't know the name of that song.
Close. Lana Del Rey and Quavo are number 13 with Tough. Number 14 is Joyride, Kesha. Number 15, She's Leaving You, MJ Lenderman. Don't know who that is. 16, Birds of a Feather from Billie Eilish. We'll go back up to number 12 is Perfume, The Dare. Number 11, Hot to Go, Chappelle Roan. Number 10, Please, 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 Sabrina Carpenter. Number 9 is TGIF from
Chappelle Roan.
From Glorilla.
Chappelle Roan.
Chappelle Roan.
Johnny Murphy.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Chappelle Roan.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
With 2 P's and 2 L's?
But I like it better. I like Chappelle Roan
Chappelle Roan. Hey, Chappelle Roan, Hot to Go. Number 7 is Fisher with multiple R's.
This is where the grandpa in us is coming out.
I know,
more.
dude.
Yeah.
You know what? Screw this. I'm just
No,
moving
finish
on.
the list.
I gotta hear. I want to
Granddad.
know number 1.
Number 6 is a bar song, Shabuzi. Number 5 is I Had Some Help, Post Malone featuring Morgan Wallen. Number 4 is Good Luck Babe from Chappelle Roan. Chappelle Roan. Number 3 is Espresso from Sabrina Carpenter. 2 is Not Like Us from Kendrick Lamar. And number 1 is Von Dutch from Charlie XCX.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, kids.
I knew all
Thank you,
those.
young
Those
people.
are all great numbers.
On TV tonight, Olympic highlights with Kevin Hart and Kenan Thompson, 6 p.m. on Peacock. Primetime Olympic coverage is at 8 p.m. on NBC. We got men's basketball, beach volleyball, and women's soccer coming up tonight. The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire reboot at 8 p.m. on ABC. Sophia Bush, Alex Edelman, plus Jeff Ross and Jimmy's cousin Sal. Episode 3 of Time Bandits hits Apple TV Plus, and the 4th season premiere of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix.
And your celebrity birthdays. We got Rico Rodriguez the second. He's 26. We got Ruby Modine. This is Matthew Modine's daughter. She's 34. Zelda Williams is Robin Williams' daughter. She's 35. We got M. Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold.
Shadows.
76. Oh, sorry, 43. We got BJ Novak. He is 45. And country legend Zach Brown is 46. Dean Cain, former Superman, he's 58. Just kidding. Oh, J.K. Rowling is 59, and that is an author of Harry Potter. Wesley Snipes is 62. Mark Cuban is 66. Bill Berry is 66. That's a former drummer of R.E.M., and he quit in 97 after a brain aneurysm, which is crazy. And this one is, I don't know how to say the name, Michael Biehn.
Michael Biehn.
Biehn is 68. That's Kyle Reese.
Chappelle
What a
Roan.
career, dude.
Dude, it's awesome. Johnny Ringo, just a beautiful man. We got Barry Van Dyke is 73. And Gary Lewis is 79. That is the son of Jerry Lewis and the leader of Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
Dan?
No way. Jerry had a Gary?
Jerry had a
Jerry
Gary.
had a Gary. And we have
Best friend Jerry had a son Gary.
Dude, what a household.
And 5 days from now, he's going to marry. Go with the Playboys, and if he can, in the ceremony, you'll be the best man. Today's porno birthday, brought to you by Patricia's, where fun and fantasy meet, is Courtney Kane, double K. That was the role we sat in last night. Maybe it was named after her. Courtney Kane. Today's birthday girl's been in 317 fine films, including The All-Day Orgy, Badass Schoolgirls 5, Covered in Oil 3, Girls Massaging Girls 3, Innocent Until Proven Filthy 8, You Cannot Handle the Truth, Magic Feet 9. I want to see that one. Mission Ass Possible. That was a good one. The Other White Meat, and who could forget her role in 2013's Ready, Wet, Go! 7. Courtney Kane is 38 years old. That's your porno birthday. Those were your crappy birthdays, brought to you by Crap on Celebrities.
There is one more birthday,
yeah, this
right?
just came over the wire.
Uh-oh.
Very excited to announce the birthday of a true baby boomer. He's someone we should all love and adore.
Oh.
It's Papa Moon.
Yes, I'm Papa Moon, but Pawpaw Moon.
Pawpaw Moon.
Pawpaw Moon.
Yeah, he's the
is,
giver of rocks and cookies.
He's
78 years young today.
He's the greatest gift giver
I
of
love
the
that
family.
man.
And my mother told me last week, hey, you know, your father, he's got a birthday next week. Make sure you don't do anything. He'll be really upset if you do.
Yeah.
Well, this is a bad time to announce that I'm having a joint birthday party at McDonald's Playland for Pawpaw Moon and Courtney Kane.
Yeah.
That's your crap on celebrities. Don't worry, Dad. I got nothing planned. I turned on everybody's mic except for mine. I
can't hear you,
I
man.
pulled a Riz, dude.
All right.
All right, welcome back to the Rizzuto Show. Riz and Lern have the day off because they went to the Chili Peppers last night. Rafe and I went, but we weren't sure if we were going to go, so we actually kind of just ducked out early. But they went the full night, and I can't wait for tomorrow to hear their review. We had a great review of the concert, and I'm sure, I mean, Riz was having a good time. Nobody was having a better time than the two people in front of us, in the row in front of us. Rafe, when you went over to the seats, I know you went up to the row that I was in for a while there. Did you see that couple? I mean, they were... She was having the greatest time of her life. He was having...
The one in between us?
Yes.
Yeah, because you arrived
they were zoned, bro.
You arrived and I was separated from... For some reason, my tickets were like further down in the row, and I didn't know them. I knew everyone else. It seemed like it was like a radio station row, and I didn't know who they were.
Yeah. We were in row KK.
It was great, and it did seem like she was loving it, and he was there.
He was zapped from something. Had a good time earlier, perhaps. But it was great. I'm excited to hear if they went out afterwards. I know Lern and Riz and their parties were definitely looking to just have a full night of greatness, and it was. Chili Peppers were great. But we have some other concert tickets to give out. I Prevail on Hailstorm, Hollywood Undead, August 7th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Creed, Point Big Summer Show, 3 Doors Down, Finger 11s with them next Friday night, August 9th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. We have a pair of tickets to give out to Five Finger Death Punch, playing a Point Big Summer Show with Marilyn Manson. Next Saturday, August 10th, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and a pair of tickets, lawn tickets for Green Day, playing the Point Big Summer Show with Rancid just a couple of weeks, August 15th. We're going to do a little fake news or Florida, and I found this story. Even though it's not from Florida, I thought I'd just throw it in right here. Being a bank teller during a robbery has to be incredibly stressful. And by the way, this is today's stupid criminal of the day. But man, being a bank teller, it's got to be even worse when you're forced to jam a huge pile of cash into one of those small tubes that are sent out in the drive-thru. Because today's stupid criminal of the day goes to a 41-year-old man in Maine named Jason Arsenault. And this guy pleaded guilty to robbing a bank through the drive-thru. I mean, I guess if you don't want to hire a getaway driver, this might seem pretty convenient. This bank had one of those vacuum tube systems. Jason dropped a note inside the tube and sent it over, and it just said, "Car bomb. No cops or alarms, or we all die. 50,000 in 20s." The teller complied. Somehow shoved all that cash into the tube. By the way, 50,000 is 2,500 $20 bills. Unclear if that fit all in one tube or if it required multiple sends. I'm kind of curious. I want to know. I want to know what that looks like. Jason got the cash. He drove off. A couple days later, cops used surveillance footage, to track down Jason and arrest him. He confessed, showed police where he had hidden the loot. He's facing 20 years in prison and a fine of up to $250,000. Yes, it was in Maine, but it felt pretty Florida.
Honestly,
what's that?
Maine is northern Florida. It's the same shape. Just points the other direction.
Never did I never put that together. I never thought about that. The contest, here we go.
Brought to you by Friedrich HVAC Systems. Get serious about comfort and energy savings with Friedrich. Visit Friedrich.com.
It is fake news or Florida. So Rafe is going to read you a little headline. And that headline is either completely fake news or is a real headline from a real happening from a real Hoosier that lives
southern Maine.
in southern Maine, a.k.a. Florida. Contestants on the phone have to get 2 out of 3 right. 2 out of 3 right. You get your choice of tickets between that I Prevail Hailstorm Show, Creed, Five Finger Death Punch, or Green Day. It's a fairly straightforward game. Seems easy. not so much. Should we give a lifeline here, Rafe, or should we just bypass the lifelines?
I'll give a lifeline. I want to give some stuff away today, so I'll give. It's got to be a King Scott lifeline because you and I have the answers.
King Scott, you hear that? He's in the other room. It's you hear that, dude?
My mic wasn't on. I had a good joke earlier.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
No, yeah, I hear.
I love that you're in there dropping puns to yourself.
Yeah. Well, you should have seen the crowd. They went crazy.
I believe it.
All right, let's go to Blake. Blake in Collinsville. How you doing, Blake? Balake. I don't know where the button is. Otherwise, I would hit it.
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great, man. Are you ready to play fake news or Florida?
Yep.
All right, best 2 out of 3. You have a lifeline with King Scott.
Blake, feel free to use your lifeline or not. This just in, Blake. A Largo man was busted after asking police to help him start a scooter that he had just stolen.
I just lost you. Could you repeat that?
Oh,
Let's try it again.
Maybe
this
your
just in a second time. A Largo man was busted after asking police to help him start a scooter he had just stolen.
I'm going to say that is fake news.
Oh, that's Florida.
Sorry, bud.
1 down.
0 for 1.
All right.
You do have a lifeline if you need it. This just in, a Miramar man was seen power washing a roof while he was dressed as Spider-Man.
I'm going to use my lifeline on that one.
Oh, lifeline. King Scott.
I'm glad
King
you did.
Scott,
'cause I
first
know
of
the
his
answer to
name.
this. It is fake news.
All right.
Okay, he didn't even ask for a reread.
Florida.
Great job, Scott.
Good
You
job,
blew it
Scott.
for Blake.
Didn't even ask for a reread. He just went with his gut.
Well,
Goodbye, Blake. Steven in O'Fallon.
I thought.
Good morning.
Good morning, man. You have a lifeline with King Scott. He is 0 for 1. Steven, are you ready to play fake news or Florida?
I sure am.
All right, hit it.
All right, Stephen, good luck. Stephen, a North Hollywood woman was arrested for assault after she hit her husband with a pork chop.
Florida.
No. I wanted that one to be true really
That's a
bad.
good one.
In my heart, believe me, old Captain Porksteak wanted that one to be true. All right. This is where you turn it all around, bud. Stephen, breaking news. An Orlando man with one functioning eye was arrested after he stole a police motorcycle and crashed it into a garbage truck.
King Scott, let's go.
Oh, King Scott on the
King, would you like a repeat? Or do you
Yes,
feel
please.
like you know
I
it?
definitely need a repeat.
in the spotlight again. Let's see how he does.
King Scott, first of his name, King of the Andals. An Orlando man with one functioning eye was arrested after he stole a police motorcycle and crashed it directly into a garbage truck.
I'm going to say, since you declared the one eye thing, I am going to go, again, I'm sticking with my gut. It's not been wrong yet. I'm going to go fake news.
The King
Fake
has
news.
left.
We finally scored a point.
You're welcome.
You're on your own now, Stephen. Here we go. This just in. A Land O'Lakes man was arrested for breaking into 26 cars in a prison parking lot shortly after he was released.
Let's go with Florida.
Oh, that's
Yeah, Daddy.
Yeah,
You
Steven.
don't get more Florida than that.
All right, hang tight. You got the win there.
Nice
Good
work,
job, Stephen.
Eric in St. Anne. Eric, how are you today?
Hey, good morning. Happy birthday, Papa Moon.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Here we go. Fake news or Florida. Get you some
I
tickets.
think he was talking about your
Yeah.
dad. But
Oh.
all right, bud. Here we go. Stolen valor. Stolen birthday valor by Papa Moon. A Miami man.
Someone else for Riz.
That's true. That's true. Appreciate it. Either way, I'll pass the word. Go ahead.
Here we go. A Miami man with no arms was arrested for stabbing a man in an attempted robbery.
I'm going to say Florida.
Oh, that's Florida.
100%. And I think that guy just passed away
Trust
a
me.
couple years ago.
Got to have a foot knife. Everybody knows that.
Right.
All right. See if he can sweep out. This just in. An Orlando sheriff's deputy was arrested for DUI after crashing his cruiser during the 4th of July parade.
I'm going to go Florida.
That is fake news.
Dang it.
1 for 1 comes down to this. You do have a King Scott lifeline.
If you so choose. A Newport Richie man was arrested for vandalizing cars while he was wearing nothing but a bra and a hat.
I'm going to go with King Scott.
King Scott, back to you, buddy.
Back to me. Can I get a repeat of the question, please?
You absolutely can. A Newport Richie man was arrested for vandalizing cars while he was wearing nothing but a bra and a hat.
Now, do know that Eric's tickets are on the line.
Yeah.
He's
Come
one
on,
and
buddy.
one, and it's
We're
up to
neighbors.
you.
I know, and I like Eric a lot, so I do not want to get this wrong. And the way that's described, it sounds like it was not written by a professional journalist. So I'm going to say it's fake.
Oh, that's Florida.
Goodbye, Eric.
Sorry.
There are no professional journalists anymore. We all know that.
Nathan in Highland. How you doing, Nathan?
Oh, doing good.
So far, Scott's only cost people tickets, I believe.
Well, I've got a ticket.
Oh, did you? Okay, good. Okay, Rafe, talk to Nathan.
Nathan, this just in. A Pensacola man was arrested for folding himself in public and asked a cop to squeeze his rump.
We're going to go fake news.
Oh, that's Florida.
I wonder if that was supposed to be fondling himself.
Man, I don't know.
Holding himself threw me off even. All right.
I will tell you that this button having the power, it is just intoxicating.
Feels good?
It really is. Now I know why Riz is Riz.
I wonder why it's the biggest button, too, over there.
Well, it's monkey's paw. Every time you push it, the anger grows inside you.
Exactly. Okay, you can bounce back here, Nathan.
Here we go, Nathan. A Key West man was arrested for shoplifting beer at Walmart in a fake police uniform.
Oh, how about King Scott?
Oh,
boy.
thank you so much.
King Scott, a
Can you
Key
repeat
West
that?
man, shortly after stepping on a pop-pop and blowing out his flip-flop, was arrested for shoplifting beer at Walmart in a fake police uniform.
I'm going to say that's Florida.
Goodbye, Nathan.
You are on a roll, my friend.
Brian from St. Louis, you're up next.
Hello.
1 for 4.
Oh, there's nothing like hitting the bar and hanging up on someone. It's kind of wild.
Gosh, I'm so sorry,
I
guys.
feel terrible, but Scott should feel worse. Go ahead, Rafe. Talk to Brian.
Brian, a Gainesville man was arrested for cutting off his wife's lover's penis after he caught them together in bed.
That is going to be true.
Florida?
Florida.
There we go.
Oh, that's Florida.
On the board.
Wow.
1 to go.
1 to go. I like your attitude. This just in, an Orlando woman was arrested after she grabbed her husband's man parts so forcefully that he could not walk.
That would be Florida.
Oh, that's
Man, that was
Florida.
Florida.
Nice, Brian.
Yeah, that's
You
well
calling in
done.
from Pensacola? What's going on?
Do we have enough for one more?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that was a recent news story, too, right?
Heather in California.
Hello.
Hey, how are you, Heather?
Fine.
All right. Good luck.
How's
Good
the weather
luck.
out there?
You are our last
Missouri.
contestant. Is it California, Missouri?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sweet. Way out west.
That's the joke. Here we
All right,
go.
Rafe.
Heather, a Jacksonville man, was arrested after entering a convenience store with a live alligator in his arms.
Florida.
Oh, that's Florida.
Bam. No hesitation.
That's
She knew it.
Weekly, Florida. Here we go for the tickies. A Fort Lauderdale summer school teacher was fired and arrested for giving a spiked fruit punch drink to her students.
Florida.
No.
Sabaza has come down. You do have a lifeline.
Sounds like an 80s movie plot.
All right. Last one.
A Fort Walton Beach dog breeder was busted for drug possession after a Chihuahua ate his duffel bag and tested positive for an overdose of marijuana.
I use King Scott.
Oh, gosh, darn it.
A Fort Walton
I love
Beach.
California, Missouri.
All right, here we
All
go.
right, sorry. Yeah, can I get a repeat there?
That's fine. For California, a Fort Walton Beach dog breeder was busted for drug possession after a Chihuahua ate his duffel bag and tested positive for an overdose of marijuana.
That's got to be fake news.
Fake news it is. All right. Congratulations,
From
Heather.
the jaws of
Yeah.
defeat.
Chihuahuas hate duffel bags. We all know that.
Did we talk to Taylor earlier? Or is that a different caller?
Think a different caller.
But you know what? Let's go out on another high note. We got one more. Taylor, Granite City,
Tay.
how are you?
Pretty good. What's going on?
All right, let's rock it. You are our last contestant of the day.
All right, Taylor, good luck. Send on a high note. A Dade County man was late for work, so he hitched a ride on the back of a moving bus.
Let's go with that Florida.
Oh, that's Florida.
Yeah, baby.
That's all Florida, baby. Here we go for the sweep. A Vero Beach man appealed his drinking and driving arrest because he only drank at stoplights.
Let's go with fake news.
Oh, that's Florida.
That is Florida.
I feel like Florida was the best guess, even just an educated guess there, because I got a feeling this headline has been written 6 times.
Probably.
That's such a Florida thing. I just feel like this is a once-a-decade occurrence.
Never took a drink while driving, only when stopped. A Fort Myers dog walker was arrested for drug possession after he was seen walking a cat on a leash.
Come on, let's end on a high note. This is the last one. Last one.
Let's go with that Florida. It sounds bizarre.
Goodbye.
Taylor.
What a bummer. Hey, we can still end on a high note, Rafe.
We tried.
Hit one for me.
For you?
Yes, hit a high note for me. Thank you. Oh, man. We won some. We lost some. That's how it goes with fake news or Florida. I do love that. I do love that game. I feel like we learn a lot. And we feel better about ourselves as Missourians.
It's a never-ending supply.
It really is a never-ending supply. It is 8:44 here on the Rizzuto Show. King Scott, what do you got for me for some traffic and weather?
Your Point Traffic brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Bomberito at WWT Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal. Well, it looks like the roads are pretty clear at the moment. Still some slowdowns on 270 near Gravois. Otherwise, the roads are all good to go. And your point forecast today, it's going to be a little toasty out there. It's dangerous levels of heat and humidity with a high of 99 and a heat index all the way up to 112. And right now, it's 80 at the Point Studio. Your Point forecast brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning. More reliable than St. Louis weather.
We'll do a little bit of weird news that I found kind of floating around next, and then your emails. Email us, RizShow at 1057thepoint.com. We'll see you then.
Point. Blow those friggin' candles out, will you?
This music is aggressive. It's aggressive. It's good for the morning.
I'm scared.
Get your energy up, get your blood flowing. It's the Rizzuto Show. Riz and Lern have today off, but they'll be back tomorrow. Us, we three. We three
tomorrow off, right?
We three kings are holding down the fort.
Right.
Appreciate you being with us, watching us on the Mick Ultra Studio cams. We are live on the Points YouTube page. Of course, you can get a hold of us, 314-624-3833. You can always email us, RizShow at 1057thepoint.com. And we'll get to emails in just a second. I wanted to give you some funny or weird happenings that are happening around the world. I read this morning. A Lancaster County man has been arrested for multiple traffic violations and on active warrants following a traffic stop. According to Pennsylvania State Police, patrol initiated a traffic stop on a motorcycle for multiple traffic violations. This driver, identified as 28-year-old Devin Yake, had a large dog on his lap while operating a motorcycle. According to the troopers, Yake was carelessly driving, failing to use all turn signals, driving too fast, failing to stop for many stop signs, didn't have a registered plate, was allegedly he did have methamphetamine in his sock, marijuana, and other paraphernalia in the other, according to troopers. He was also found to have active warrants for his arrest through the Lancaster County Sheriff's Office for fleeing and eluding police in the past.
Gosh.
Yake was determined to be under the influence of drugs, according to the troopers. He was arrested and transported to the Lancaster County Prison. The dog on Yake's lap turned out to be a very friendly, large pit bull. The dog willingly took a ride in the patrol car where it was released to a responsible party. Now, what are we always saying? You got some warrants? You got some drugs in your sock? Follow the rules of the road! You got a dog in your lap and you're not using your turn signal? Just asking for it.
If you're going to flee, don't have a flea bag on your lap.
Hey, you ever seen a shooting star?
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, no, in the sky. I was thinking of, I didn't want to do a Baldwin joke, so.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
You're above it?
Yeah, I'm above that.
Oh, well, we have headline goo coming up later, and let's just say,
dude. Somebody, while we went to a concert, someone raised their taste.
Oh, for sure.
Wait till you hear his goo. He's got
somebody went to see Twisters, and now his tastes are a little higher.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You went to see Twisters. We've been talking about Rafe. Every break keeps going. We still haven't heard Scott's movie review,
dude. Well, do you
what
guys
happened
want
with
to hear it
Twisters?
right now?
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to it later.
Okay.
No. Let's hear it right now.
No, let's make that the joke. A bright fireball that shot across the night sky over Southern California was caught on camera. Be
ready.
Be ready for your Twisters review. This was more than just like a shooting star thing. It has yet to be identified. That's the crazy thing. There's security cameras. One of a Rebecca Woods from San Marcos near San Diego recorded this bright light streaking across the sky on the night of the 25th. The American Meteor Society, which sounds awesome, received 34 reports of a fireball shortly after 9:20 p.m. and social media users reported spotting the object around the San Diego area as well as New Mexico and across the Mexican border as far east as Texas. One New Mexico witness reported seeing the object breaking up. Now, this thing has yet to be identified. Nobody has claimed they know what it is or that it was some satellite or something like that. Most common theories include that it was a meteor or space junk re-entering the atmosphere. So this could have been a meteor kind of burning through, but nobody said that they've seen anything land. Now, obviously, if it's over by San Diego, perhaps it hit the sea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And if it's on the West Coast.
Have you seen anything crazy like that, though? Shooting star is one thing. You see something that you're like, that is unexplainable. Someone needs to tell me what that is. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Like in the sky, you mean?
Well, I guess I'm looking for Sasquatch theories as well, but like or sightings
I saw
as well,
someone getting oral sex during the movie Big Fish, and that was something.
I don't know
if I
can
can say that.
I don't either.
All right, well.
I don't know. I don't want to be on the hook for that.
Did we just have an emergency broadcast interruption?
That was one of my few dumps. I've maybe dumped out 3 times behind this board. And
it wasn't that bad.
And I think it was on you every time.
It wasn't that bad. And I'm just saying that's something I found out of the ordinary, something that I couldn't explain.
Yeah.
Why that was happening.
Huh.
I've seen like a meteor shower. Yeah. I've seen some big stuff in the air where, I don't know, maybe my imagination gets the best of it. I've seen stuff like out camping or like at night where I'm just like, that thing didn't move like a plane. It'll be something big in the sky that's kind of jutting around. And I'll be
really?
Like,
ooh, that's
because I saw one when my buddy Trent and I, we were sleeping on the trampoline, and it's out there in Shelvina, so there's no lights really damage anything. It's just, the sky is huge out there. And we saw something kind of like that where it was the weirdest, like it flew over, kind of stopped, and then it went back the other direction. But we're also kids like looking for that thing, so it could have been anything. It could have been a helicopter. We'd have believed it was a UFO. I don't know.
Yeah, same. Could have been a helicopter up in the sky closer than.
But you could have heard it. But I didn't hear any noise.
Yeah,
from
that was the thing. We didn't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, Rafe, I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to hear his Twister review since he went to the movies yesterday? Or you want to get right into emails?
You know what? Let's get into emails.
Yeah, let's do emails.
We'll have time at the end for that Twister.
Right. Yeah, it'll be great.
I got a great email to lead right into it, bud.
Perfect.
Emails brought to you by Kloss Furniture. Lowest prices guaranteed. We've got something for everybody. Let's start with some food emails. Here's an easy one. Hey, fellas and Lern.
Hey.
Lern's not here.
Hi.
Are scrambled eggs considered fried chicken? Sent from the high thoughts of my wife. Wow. Love the show. Thanks. Let's talk about it. Let's suss that out.
Are scrambled eggs fried chicken?
Because they're not.
No.
No. There's no.
I believe the key word here is viability.
Yeah.
wasn't that the word in question when it came to Supreme Court when they were talking about?
I believe so, yes.
When an embryo became a human.
Right.
So I mean, this is the same question, right?
Yeah, but
if it's in the, have you ever, by the way, cracked open an egg and there's a freaking chicken in there?
No, have you?
Yes. Yeah.
I cracked it open, had a fortune tape before.
Full on, cracked open a
What
thing.
a bonus.
And it wasn't a yolk. This thing was fertilized.
That's cool. So you got.
It was not
make
cool.
More eggs.
It was not cool because then you think, oh man, how often is this going to happen? It hasn't happened since. I don't know.
Well,
the first thing I thought
pick up
was
that egg and
this
be
was
like,
a joke.
This has got some weight to it.
Just pretend that crunch was a shell. That's all I'm saying.
I've also had Will Pelly tried to feed me a balut. Do Do you know what balut is? It's like a Scotch egg, but with a friggin' duck inside.
Yeah,
like a baby duck.
No way.
I started eating it, and then everybody was looking at me and filming, and I was like, what the hell's happening? And I looked down, and there were feathers and a beak in there. And I stopped right there. And I ate
Did you
it whole.
swing on Chef Pelly?
No, I should have expected it from him. I say no, it's not fried chicken.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Agreed. Concur.
Because there's no seed mixed in.
The three have spoken.
Yeah.
That's right. We three kings have spoken. Next.
Hey, guys and Lady Lern.
Hey.
Hi. It's been a hot week so far, and we've been dealing with a swamp ass alert. I was wondering in your amateur/professional...
This is a swamp ass alert.
That's right. I was wondering in your amateur/professional opinions, which is worse to have, swamp ass or swamp crotch? I had both today. And this is what it looked like. And he sent a picture of disgusting jeans that I obviously can't show the listeners. Thank God. Thanks, guys and gal. Love the show. 3 out of 5 stars. The cable guy.
You know, I saw this email this morning, and I've been thinking about it ever since. And I've changed my mind a few times. But I think I'm officially going to weigh in and say the swamp butt has to be worse than swamp crotch. And here's why. I think it's more natural to sweat up here. You know what I'm saying? It happens. I mean, the first place below the waist when you're sweating, doing anything active is there. It's kind of like that's where it's supposed to happen. And in the back, I don't think I'm built as well for the sweaty mess.
Okay.
And when you're sitting at a concert, you're standing up, and you've only been here for 20 minutes at Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you feel just a little precipitation, just a little drop, like a whoop down your crack.
Uh-oh.
You think of nothing else. I stopped enjoying the concert for the moment. I forgot what song he was singing. All I thought was, this is so nasty. I am so disgusting right now. And then walking to the car, all I thought was, this is gross.
Yep.
So I'm going to say swamp butts.
One vote for swamp ass.
Well, I think I got to go with the front as well. Because also the bottom with just getting water on dirt, turns to mud, and you don't want to sweat mud. So I'm going to go with the front. Because also,
wait, the front is worse?
No, better.
Oh, okay.
So it looks cool too whenever you're walking around with wet crotch. It's like, man, that guy's cool.
So he's swamp butt as well.
I might have to concur with the group on this one as well. The three have spoken. Only because when it's wet in the front, you know it's sweat.
Yeah, it's natural.
When it's wet in the back, you got to stop and ask yourself.
Yeah, man.
Is that all sweat?
It presents
I did
questions.
It makes me more nervous when I feel it back there when I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's just not.
You know when you're wet up here, you're like, oh, I'm sweating.
I'm sweating.
I know what's happening. I know I didn't pee. But you never know what's going on back there. Dude.
No.
Not when you're eating 2 cookies a night.
That's right. That's worrisome territory.
Swamp ass is the worst. Next. Hey, all.
Hey.
Just listening to the replay of yesterday's show, you mentioned that computers 1,500 or more qualify for the tax holiday. That is actually not correct. It is 1,500 or less that qualify for tax breaks. Don't want a bunch of your listeners going to duty-free day upset. Thank you for letting us know, and they sent a link, and it does appear that is true.
Thank you for that. Hey, I will say, you guys are going to be at EPC on Saturday, 10 to noon. It is the back to school thing. It's the they take advantage of that this holiday and all that. And man, if you need anything, if your kids need anything, computer wise or any of that, you're going to find plenty well under that $1,500.
That's right.
And EPC rules. The people are great. I don't know, man. It's just a wonderful place. We've done events with them these last couple of years. So if you're looking for something like that, you will find it for under $1,500. And thank you very much for the information. And go see Lern and Rafe at EPC on Saturday, 12 noon.
Yes, as promised, she will. Not only will you get a quality electronic product duty free for under $1,500, you will get a free psychic reading from Lern.
That's right.
And I will whisper a motivational poem into an envelope that you can take with you and use on a rainy day. That's a good deal for everybody.
Wow. What does the envelope cost? The dream envelope.
It's free.
All right.
It's free, dude. Duty free, tax free.
Duty free. It better be duty free. All right, next.
Happy birthday, everybody.
Thank you very much.
I was the original publisher of The Watering Hole. I have the very first copy of the book signed by Jeff Burton, and I have decided, very cool, and I've decided that donating it to be auctioned off to help with one of the groups that Jeff supported would be a good thing to do. This is truly one of a kind item. Please let me know if there's something you'd be interested in doing. Thank you, Shane.
Tight.
Shane, we're going to share it on our socials. I think it's a cool thing. You sent us a picture. We saw it on Facebook. You tagged us. That's a great thing. It's a very, very cool thing that you're doing. It's a very generous thing that you're doing.
So Matthew over in the marketing department has reached out to him, and they're gonna figure out something. Maybe it's a fundraiser coming up. Who knows? You know, we like to raise a lot of money in the community here, and you guys, Riz Show fans, have always been just so incredible this last decade and raised, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for all sorts of different causes, from Donnie's Radiothon for Ronald McDonald House to the prostate cancer walk, and it just all sorts of things. So I know Matthew's been in touch with him, and much appreciated there, Shane. And we'll figure out something to do with that, because that's a special item. That's something.
Yeah, it's very cool. I just wanted to get the word out. I thought it was a very cool thing, a sweet thing. So I wanted to let the listeners know, be on the lookout for that, because it'll be getting auctioned off for a good cause.
That is probably more valuable than your Roger Maris 1962 record.
I agree. And you know what? I might just slide the Roger Maris inside the book as a bonus. No promises, though. I did just get that card back.
Next
up. What's up, fellas and Lern?
What's up?
Hey, I'm curious if anyone else experienced the same things I do. Do you ever find yourself having to explain in detail a text or email? Because you keep it short and sweet, like most people would prefer. That person or people take what you say out of context or interpret it badly. Then the message or email extends further than it needs to be. Obviously, you cannot convey tone, body language, facial expressions in text or email unless you put a lot of haha or emojis or a lol. So it's really the recipient's interpretation of your character. Or maybe I'm just a dick and I didn't realize it. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Okay, what do we think about this, boys?
I think this is my life.
Yeah.
I think I am misinterpreted at least 90% of the time, and it's my fault. I'm just not good, man. I'm I got the touch, if you know what I'm saying, and I was in rock and roll for many years. for many years before I ever had a corporate gig as this is, and my wife caught a glimpse of a couple of my emails and was like, dude, you gotta reword this. You have to come out and do all this. There's just like a lot of jargon and just typical professionalism that I lacked severely. On top of that, I've always been very behind as far as understanding social cues or subscribing to them. And it's a real difficult for me, a real difficulty for me, especially for those that don't know that and expect me to be quote unquote normal. So yeah.
You're the one human who can use AI to sound more human.
Yes.
You should be
AI
like,
would make
reword this email as if a human wrote it.
Make human.
Yeah, and it's really cool because I always assume that the people that know me love me for who I am, and they understand that. And my emails that are like 6 words are like, just because it doesn't have the pleasantries doesn't mean I'm not being pleasant. But I'm wrong every time. Every time. I'm the worst, and I accept this. And you guys continually remind me, whether it's to my face or
that's what they're here for,
or on the show, and you're like, oh yeah, well you didn't text us back, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Whatever it is. Yes, I'm constantly. This is my life. This is my nightmare. I'm George Costanza in this scenario, for sure. What about you guys?
Scott?
Well, I'm so articulate. When I type, everyone understands everything I say. It's just incredible. My communication skills are through the roof. I'd never have to call and clarify or any of that stuff. It always works out great. And by that, I mean, most of the time, no one gets what I'm saying. So
I don't know. I think you come off really kind. You do come off a little shorter than most, but it's always just so hee funny and kind. I don't think you really have too much of an issue with this.
All right. I'll take that.
I'm legitimately digging myself out of holes on a daily basis with my lack of communication skills when it comes to understanding how something may be received.
Yeah. Because you may say, hey, there's something funny on my computer. I want you to watch it. So you send an email, get here now. And you're like, what's going on?
I don't say get here now. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I do. I'm awful.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I think it's a delicate it's a delicate balance, too, of sometimes people are just in the mood to take things the way they want to take them. And this form of communication, I know they taught this in one of my business classes in college, which was a million years ago, but it was like any emotionally rich information, they do not recommend text or email. It's like they still say, like, hey, don't try to communicate anything like high volatility or highly emotional through these mediums because they lack the context to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because you're just setting yourself up for this, you know. So if it's something that's delicate and you're giving like short or what could be perceived as callous messages, you're probably the other person's going to take it and then it escalates. Then you get like a passive aggressive thing and then it gets and then it turns into something that it didn't have to be. So I would say just call people if you're not sure, man. If you're not good at this, I had to train myself, especially being a comedian. I always assume people know, hey, if it seems a little, you know, off, he's probably joking. He's probably messing around. But not everybody does. And I burned myself more than a few times on that. So I've trained myself, and I was very emoji resistant. I was like, I'm a grown man, and I am not putting a ha-ha tear face on the end. I'm just going to send the message and trust that people have a sense of humor. And I had to train myself to be like, no, you have to start. You have to start using some of these cues because that's what they're for now. They have been adopted into our society as a way to like send an
emotion,
an emotion. Oh, it's why they're called emojis. I did not get on board for a long time, so I would say you got to adopt that, man, or start calling people.
Yeah, here's the problem with calling people, because I totally agree with you, except for nobody answers the phone anymore. And
that's true.
That's what's really made me suffer.
Well, at least you can leave a message, and your tone of voice can be conveyed.
But then people get angry that you left a message.
That's true.
Believe me, I've lost every one of these fights, every one of them, and I totally admit, again, like I have a superpower of compartmentalizing things, most of which it all ends with, I really honestly don't care what you think. If you're,
I was saying, do you mind at the end of the day?
No, I mean, as far as judgment goes, of course I care what you guys think. I care for people. It's not that I'm callous and don't have empathy. In fact, like sometimes it's a little too intense for me. But what I'm saying is, if someone's criticizing something that I know is just them being critical, like it doesn't hurt me too much. I got pretty thick skin with that kind of stuff. The problem is, I compartmentalize these things so intensely and so like black and white on occasion that I don't understand that when you ask me a simple question that just requires a simple answer, I don't understand a lot of times how that can be so offensive, but it is. You know, like if you ask me a direct question and I just shoot you an answer and move on, it can be seen as like I'm not engaged or want to continue something. Like where I see it as just this very simple interaction of you asked me a question, I gave you an answer. How am I in trouble? I don't get this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I misplace a lot of the compartmentalized borders, if that makes sense.
Sometimes people are trying to be conversational with you, and you make it transactional.
Yeah, because
not bad.
I'm not understanding what you need.
Exactly.
And if I did, I'm there for the emotion, dude. I can get super deep, and that's my favorite thing to do. The problem is when I want to do that and I call somebody, they're angry that I'm calling and not texting. It's not a great world for my conducive understandings of how the world works. Let's do one more.
All right, we've got time for one more. You know what? Let's get to that Twister review later because I got another. I got another email. Hey guys!
Hey! Anybody seen Twister?
Woo! Twisters.
Has anybody here seen Twisters? I really would love to hear a review. Unfortunately, no one here has seen it.
Dad, come
No, the real email says, my fiance and I absolutely love you guys. We've actually bonded over your show, discussed some of the same topics. I moved from California to here 12 years ago. Been a fan the entire time. Here's an odd question. This Sunday is our baby shower for our daughter, due at the end of August. All of my family is back in California, as are most of my friends. It's a shot in the dark here, but we wanted to extend an invitation to all of you. Have a great weekend. Casey, Danny, and Samara. I'm assuming that Samara's the daughter and that this isn't a throuple, but it could be.
So we got invited to a baby shower?
We got invited to a baby shower this Sunday.
It's very sweet.
And
how's the parking?
Yeah, what's the...
You say end of July or end of August?
End of August.
Where is this?
Okay, so
there were no details provided, by the way. This was just, I think this was an exploratory email to see our feelings about being invited to a baby shower this Sunday.
Well, we just talked about it, and you asked a
We did.
question.
Yeah.
And my answer is thank you. No.
My answer is I don't even like going to people I know's baby shower. But I wish you well, and I am excited for you guys.
That's super cool. Congratulations. And it sucks that they're not going to be able to share it with their family.
Yeah. I do like the baby shower mints, the ones that just come loose in a foam bowl.
I thought those were the same things as the Valentine.
They are the same.
Oh, you like those?
No, those are actual mints, though. The
Okay,
ones
I
I'm
was
talking
gonna
about are
say,
mints.
Dude, you can't like
the
those. Those are
funeral home
crazy.
mint.
But I think I could probably speak for Riz on this one. I don't do it often,
He's going, right?
but I want to say he was going to politely decline.
Yeah,
this one.
I was just making a joke. I do really appreciate the invitation.
No, it is very sweet.
I've had enough. I've hosted enough baby showers. I don't need any more.
Yeah.
But
If you even get near a
pretty
baby
cool.
shower, dude, your wife will be pregnant. Like, you
Yeah.
can't do it.
we do not need that.
You can't do it.
That's your emails. Make sure you email us rizshow at 1057thepoint.com. Right now it is 9:18. One last look at the traffic and weather. King Scott, talk to me.
Your Point Traffic brought to you by Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Bommarito 500 at WWT Raceway is not just a race, it's a spectacle. Go to WWTRaceway.com now because the first deal is the best deal. And looking at the roads, it looks like everything is clear at the moment, so nice work out there, everybody. And your point forecast today, it's going to have dangerous levels of heat and humidity with a high of 99, a heat index of 105 all the way up to 112. Right now, it's 83 at the Point Studio. Your Point Forecast brought to you by Martin Jetco Heating and Air Conditioning. More reliable.
I want to
than St. Louis
hear.
weather.
I want to hear your review of Twisters. Up next.
All right.
Birthday, Riz.
Oh my gosh! Well, welcome back to the Rizzuto Show. We've been waiting to hear Scott's big Twisters review.
I can't wait to give it, man.
And Craig actually just sent over this message and said, guys, you got to hurry up and come back. I'm standing at Ronnie's Plaza. The ticket guy is staring at me, and the line is backing up.
Okay.
Should I see Twisters? And we've been waiting to hear from King Scott. You know, last night
to tell you.
you saw Twisters, and we would love to hear your review of the film.
So,
Right after this.
But the sports report thing just fired.
all right, the sports.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Rafe. What do you have in sports?
Welcome to the Rafe Williams Super Important Sparks Report. Brought to you by Jack and Coke, the popular cocktail now available and ready to drink can for your Sparks. First off, let's start with the Cardinals. After left-hander Cody Bradford relieved Max Scherzer, the Tommy Pham return came up big with a pinch hit for Matt Carpenter and launched a grand slam that turned a 4-1 lead into an 8-1 blowout at Busch Stadium, baby.
That's his first
Grand
as
slam.
bat.
That's
at
right.
bat
Tommy,
card.
wham, bam, thank you, fam. Got a loud ovation as he came to the bat. He earned a curtain call after he returned to the dugout. It was the second grand slam of his career and his second pitch-hit homer. Homer came one day after he was traded back to the Cards from the White Sox, 6 years after the Cardinals traded him to Tampa Bay in 2018.
Dang.
He had a second at bat in the eighth inning. He grounded back to the pitcher. He's expected to be in the lineup this Wednesday with the left-hander scheduled to start for the Rangers. And I believe
Guy came in like a tornado.
he came in like a twister. And in fact, two twisters, if I may say.
Whoa.
And it really ignited something, a storm, if you will, in our friend Polo Asensio. And I believe we have that clip.
One of the best calls of all time.
Número 29 en esta ocasión para Tommy. El lanzamiento acá viene. ¡Vamos! Batazo elevado, profundo. Jardín central derecho. La pelota se va. ¡La pelota! ¡Se fue! ¡Se fue! ¡A la historia! Tommy Pham de regreso a casa. Y así lo reciben los aficionados. Y él les paga de esta manera. Grand Slam! Tommy Pham!
Well, I understood that. I feel like my Spanish is getting better.
¡Qué comienzo!
Those last
You
four
wanna
words.
translate that?
Slam!
Those last four words, I totally
Yeah,
understood.
well, no, I
that,
was to say I could translate the beginning part of it. It said
Pretty
he
good.
hit the ball over the fence.
He did. He did well. Well, that's local news. You got some international sports?
Yeah, let's get to it, baby. Let's get to the rapid fire. Super important sports report, rapid fire. Let's start with the Olympics. Simone Biles, or as Lern put it yesterday, Simon Biles is now the most decorated U.S. gymnast in U.S. history. Whop! Thanks to the Team USA bringing home the gold, she has 8 Olympic medals, 5 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze. As NBC's Olympic Twitter put it, comeback complete. As of last night, the count, USA leads everyone with the most medals, gold, silver, and bronze with 26. France is number 2 with 18. Suck on that, you frogs. What? Who is the greatest American summer Olympian of all time? The country voted, and the winner is, you guessed it, Michael Phelps with 19% of the vote. Simone Biles finished a close second at 16. Jesse Owens third with 9%. And a little further down, Caitlyn Jenner with 3%. But the actual winner was not sure. He or she got 33%.
Not sure. Always coming through. I mean, winning everything.
And now on to the hotly debated world of professional darts. Darius Luka Bakanakis is back in the lab as Oscar Luke, I'm Your Father, Lukasic claimed titles as the NDC Nordic and Baltic Pro Tour continued in Denmark last weekend. This year's fourth weekend of the PDC Nordic and Baltic Pro Tour action took place from the 27th to the 28th, and over 60 players battled it out across 2 days of competition. What? Former World Championship quarterfinalist Labanukasakis clinched the 11th Nordic and Baltic Pro Tour with a 6-5 narrow victory over Sweden's Jeffrey de Graaf on Saturday, recovering from a 3-0 5-3 down to triumph in the event 7. Let's move on to Lukasiak's performance, a winner from the Wimamamu Challenge tourney in January. Progressed to a second straight World Cup of Darts quarterfinals last month, and he reaffirmed his credentials with a strong show on Danish soil. Following back-to-back whitewash wins over Martin Olsen Gudmundsson and Jujongyang, Lukasiak saw off Octavius Norris Gligu before heading back 4-3 down to deny Norway's Kent Jorn Suvertstein of the quarterfinals. The 32-year-old then routed a 6-3 winner against Jonas Grog Vargason in the last 4 as he defeated Cantanali by the same scoreline in Sunday's showpiece to move up to the Nordic and Baltic Pro Tour Order of Merit. Moving on to the wild... Oh, yeah! What? Circle the wagons! We're going to the wild world of professional cornhole, baby! Whoa! The recreational game of cornhole wouldn't seem to have any characteristics that would give men an inherent advantage, yet a woman has never won the championship in the 9-year American...
Gosh.
Cornhole League's gender-neutral pro singles division. But that's about to change because Cheyenne, I am become Death Bubenheimer, wants to change that. The 23-year-old Floridian and now mother of one is one of 4 semifinalists competing next Saturday at the ACL Pro event, open to men and women in Milwaukee suburb of New Berlin, Wisconsin. What? Cheeseheads, come out! Cornhole is a game that doesn't necessarily reward extraordinary size or athleticism, nor is age much of a factor, considering the ACL has professionals ranging from 12 to 69 years old. But Ryder noted that Bubenheimer's semifinal opponent Saturday is 13-year-old Ryan. You traitor of Waterloo, Iowa. Keep your eyes peeled, and that concludes the Super Important Sports Report.
Nicely done.
Wow, I was passed out.
Yeah,
that was good.
You
man.
got real red.
I got it in just in time for us to have just a little extra time. Sorry, I was trying to rush.
Yeah, we do have time since he, bolted through all that.
Well, I got it typed out here. I'm ready.
Tell us about Twisters.
You really want to know about Twisters?
I really do want to know. Somebody is standing in line.
That's true.
There's
We
now
gotta hurry
35 people behind him at Ronnie's. He's asking, should I buy tickets to Twisters? Please.
Well, I have the answer.
Tell me your review of the movie Twisters.
Well, the movie Twisters, grab that ticket, my friend. It was great. It was a wonderful movie. The soundtrack is beautiful. Lainey Wilson crushed it with this cool Oklahoma song in there. But the performances were fantastic. The only thing that was disappointing, I kind of want my money back from the one thing, is they only chased tornadoes, 0 moments of them playing the actual game, Twister. And I was kind of bummed. I thought that was what the film was about. It turns out it's about tornadoes. But swung on a miss.
That was the review. Give it a letter grade.
A.
All of that.
Fun, man. It's
we
worth
learned
watching.
nothing, but you gave it an A?
I think he fell asleep in the first 5 minutes and he just made up the rest of it.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
I sat next to a listener, too.
I thought you were going to say, I fell asleep during the opening credits, and it was
I did
over.
good. My wife was squeezing my arm half the time, so it was hard to fall asleep.
Well, you seem like you're in a good mood, so why don't we just give you an opportunity to do this?
What's going on in the news today?
Okay, Scott. Headline goo time.
1,000 marijuana plants were confiscated near the city of Weed, California. But don't ask what a pig farmer did near Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
wait, I gotta find the thing. Oh, no.
G-O-O.
I lost the button.
No, here's one. I'll give you another button. Here.
There it is. Go ahead.
Krispy Kreme is selling donuts for $1 to celebrate the athleticism of the Olympics, which is like selling vodka shots to celebrate sobriety. McDonald's is launching a new burger called the Big Arch, and it will cost 4 years of your life. Ozempic could help people quit smoking. In other words, Ozempic can make you drop large amounts of weights, but even larger amounts of cool. Women don't have sex are more likely to die. Even more disturbing, your grandma's response to this was, I'm going to live forever.
Oh my God.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's so weird for me to be playing. Go ahead.
New research shows that chimpanzees appear capable of human speech. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for Vin Diesel. A survey found that 29% of Americans say they skip a meal every single day of the week. The survey was conducted by completely avoiding Walmarts. Vanessa Williams won't get Botox or fillers, not by choice. Madonna's used them all up. Jimmy Kimmel won't host next year's Oscars, but don't worry. I hear Alec Baldwin wants to give it a shot.
Oh. Saving the Alec Baldwin.
Saved that one, huh?
He had it in the chamber.
Mark Wahlberg works out at 2 a.m. Mark Wahlberg works out at 2 a.m., which raises the question, when does he get time to relax and do nothing? Oh, duh. It's when he's acting. All right, and finally, sketches by Michael Jackson are up for auction. Proceeds will go to a charity that helps underprivileged Titos.
Well done, King Scott.
Thank you.
Underprivileged Titos.
We'll be right back.
Podcast title.
We'll be right back to wrap it up. That is it for us. Riz and Lern will be back tomorrow. Full show here on the Rizzuto Show. We have an event coming up. I want to remind you on Saturday, we got Lern. We got Rafe over at EPC Saturday, 10 to noon. That's going to be a great time. EPC is awesome. We've been doing this event every single year. Rafe, would you say you're giving away whispers and envelopes over there as well?
We're going to give a free tarot or free psychic reading from Lern, which you can take to the bank as factually true. And then I will whisper a motivational poem into an envelope that you can put in your pocket and save for a rainy day when you're having a bad day.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
And you get tax-free stuff for the kids or yourself. Just say you have a kid. Who cares?
Perfect back to school. Perfect back to school place. Perfect back to school time. Scott, what else you got?
Well, you can follow me at King Scott Rules to get the real big down low of the Twisters movie review. I go into full detail on there. Very exciting stuff. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
And a lot more reviews on King Scott Rules.
Podcast title today?
Podcast title, Underprivileged Titos.
Yeah. Please help the underprivileged Titos of the world.
Hey, just want to say thanks to the listening audience. You know, obviously we're down 2 folks. We're down our fearless leader, and you stuck with us and hung out. You know, we like to keep the fort held down. We do it slightly different. And I know, you know, we're a part of your routine. That's what our morning show is all about, and that consistency I know can be thrown off. So it's very, very cool that you support us on the Michelob Ultra studio cams. You know, the chat with your emails, with your encouraging tweets and whatnot on social media. Just a big thank you to you, and we appreciate you. I appreciate you very, very much trusting me to run this board and sticking with us through these types of shows.
You did a wonderful job, but I want to apologize real quick for everyone. We said, hey, Alexa earlier, and we do apologize for saying that.
Yeah, we don't want to say, hey, Alexa, too much and bother you. Hey, now, don't forget to sign up to be the Team Riz Member of the Day, brought to you by Hot Shots Sports Bar and Grill. Swing by Hot Shots for Stella Artois and the all-new Reaper Madness Wings, available for a limited time. Mike Foster from Morrow, Illinois, is our Team Riz Member of the Day, and he wanted to hear this jam.
Hey, Alexa, play nugget porn.
We'll see you tomorrow. It's Disturbed on the Point.